Oh, I see it. It's recording. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'm here with Jared from Infinite Corridors. Hi.
Hey, what's up?
And we're just talking about, well, we were discussing his latest like astral experience, and it was something that I've seen too. So what do you want to start from?
Yeah, yeah. I was saying like by now, probably 5 or 6 weeks ago, and it was a normal night. I usually sleep and kind of wake up in the middle of the night and go back to sleep. So this time I went back to sleep. It was in the morning, like 2 a.m., and I was sleeping lighter. And I was shifting between the like dream scenarios, and like I've said before, my dreams had been manipulated for at least 5 or 6 years against my will. And this time, I switched to my astral body. I don't know if it was what etheric or if there's some difference in definition, but I was laying on my back and I couldn't really see. It was like really dark, like gray, and I couldn't see. And my body I was in was getting electrocuted or like hit with energy, and I focused on staying in that body because I didn't want to get pushed out into another manipulated dream scenario. And so after about 30 seconds or a minute of really focusing with willpower, I could start to see some, but it was still really dark. And so I reached over with my left hand. Remember, I was laying on my back, and there was a space, and I slid my astral body out, and I stood up, and I saw there was a device, like it looked like a triangle, like horizontal triangle, and it was creating a force field that had been maintaining my astral body in a position without my awareness. And so I walked. It was in a dark room, and there was a door. I opened the door, and I was in this like big location with thousands of shipping containers. And so to the best. Oh, by the way, the shipping container said like the words said like Satanic World Powers, which it was as if it was like a company or something really weird. But so to the best of my awareness, what happened was at some point in the past several years, I guess my astral body or some version of myself, and not in this place, but over there, got detained by some force against my will without my conscious awareness. So, weird, but I mean, I started flying up, looking around for people in this experience, and there was nobody anywhere. I thought I saw some apartment buildings in the distance, so I flew over to them for a few minutes, and it actually was a waste facility, like a waste management facility. They had like sludge they were pumping in the ground and stuff, but I never saw anybody else. And then when I woke up, I had all my abilities back, actually. I woke back up here, and so it's been about 5 or 6 weeks now. And ever since then, I've had much more positive dreams, less manipulation, but still some, but a totally different quality of experience overall when I'm asleep. So I don't know what that was, but it's interesting.
Okay, so when I first had my Kundalini, I woke up the next morning and I saw this sparkly Satan is what I call it, but it was a light being. It was an angel and it had a red star on its chest.
Okay.
Well, then after that, I don't know, months later, after I started seeing this Ascension virtual reality, I saw this empty VR bed and it had a red star on the back of it. And lately what I've been going through here is like this Ascension thing. I didn't have that happening so I had this started at my first house here where I live, and then I moved to another condo and nothing happened like really to do with the Ascension there. I was just getting tortured. And then when I moved here, everything like dropped off dramatically until like the last 8 months. It's been getting increasingly more, and I'm seeing more of that Ascension virtual again.
Right.
And what they do is they'll like move these containers. They look like shipping containers, but they're made out of dimensions. But I see them like I was driving one day and I saw them like going through the trees, like in the woods, like these shipping containers, and they were
Right.
like going to other people's houses is what I've seen. But anyways, it goes underneath my bed, and then all of this shit from this virtual like AI thing, it's like an experiment, will come up through my bed and into my room.
Right.
But I know it sounds weird, but it's what I've seen, like these AI experiments, and it's a certain timeline. It's not real. It's like, okay, so what I've seen is that we took the Satan computer program to the furthest that we just let AI go and let it take evil to as far as it could until humanity, the race was like gone. And that was in 3030. And then we took the God time system and let that run through, which I've seen that I was on before this life, and let it go through until humanity was gone. And I don't know how many years that was, but at the end of that one, I saw a Sophia robot that looked like me, like it had my head, but it was like a box robot kind of thing. And it was evil as anything. But anyways, I saw after that I dropped down here with this. It's a chakra technology called the demiurge. Remember I showed you that picture?
With the guy and the girl and the two beings and the
Yeah.
chakras. I
Yeah.
remember it.
Yeah. But I saw that I got the Spear of Destiny, the gold bell, and this gold dragon from that timeline. But anyways, what I'm saying is like that timeline that we're seeing, we're not truly in that. That's all completely CGI. But there's something of us left there that's, I don't know, like a fake avatar. I don't know what it is. Something is like, because all of us are seeing ourselves like in these pods and everything to do with that. But
So
then
I'm wondering.
I see
I'm
us like,
wondering. Go ahead.
I see us in these other virtual reality beds too. That's like the eighth heaven, where this one guy is always trying to wake me up and get me out of it. But I look like myself in that. But in this lower one that you're talking about, the satanic one, there's somebody that kind of looks like me and this guy that doesn't look like him, but I think it's like a fake lower aspect. It's like what the AI created with the information that it had of us. So it kind of looks like us, but it's also linked to us like we're seeing it.
So how many versions are there of us? Because I can't really see these things the way you can. Where you have a gift and that's cool. I mean, I see some stuff, but I can like phase shift into other places sometimes. But I don't know. I don't know the definitions. People say etheric body. People say astral body. You've got the astrals, the ether. They say causal planes, mental planes, and it's like. But you see the pods. Like I was in a shipping container, or I guess that could be a pod in that body, but I still think that place is within the simulation. They like
No,
what
it
we
is.
call physical, etheric, astral, whatever. But it's all inside the simulation. It's not like outside. It's not. It's not really
Right.
more real, right?
Right. It's a layer here because I've seen it here while being awake, like in my neighborhood, and just I see it all the time. And but the whole thing is what I'm saying with the male spirit is we have got to release your guys' lower chakra because the God's eye was pushed, like anchored down into that very bottom, and that's why we're here. Like the other day, I I was like bawling my eyes out to myself, and I was like just asking, why am I being tortured so bad? And I went outside, and I was looking at the sun, and it's just like a movie. Like when I'm in that kind of situation, it's just like a movie. But two birds flew right by me, and a bee almost hit me in my face because I was asking
Yeah.
what's in my hair. It was like the birds and the bees. But it's split, and we have to we have to like collapse that whole grid inside of us so that it's not just in the chakra, because it's like making us a robot and harvesting our energy there. But you guys, the male site is completely blocked right now. I think you
Yeah,
have
it is.
you have
It's
more.
focused. It's focused on more like lustful type things and material. Push down. I don't know exactly what it looks like, but you're right. It is like that for men. And that's a blockage spiritually. But I mean, I've focused on imagination. I guess you would say first eye or mind's eye, like the upper energy zone, for at least 7 years now, and I can see pretty well. But then, my dreams were manipulated. I guess somebody was like, "Yeah, he's waking up. Just go attack him and don't let him get access to consciously shifting to these other places." And so, ever since I could start to see, it's been a real bitch to deal with this stuff. But not. It seems like I'm not as attacked as other people, though. Not as manipulated, but still a lot.
Well, and men can physically do something in these dimensions. And I think the women are supposed to be like the guide, and the men are physically able to do something. Like they're the aggressive energy. And that's being held down here by so much different fear and magic. Like that's what I've been working on is like the sexual magnetism to that lower chakra, like just how much it affects everybody and how much it's like, it's the driving force behind what men do everything in their life for. You know what I mean? And how much fear actually comes behind that.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. That's I think I was just watching a video earlier. Somebody was saying, well, it's a you said block, but if not that many men probably get beyond that kind of the lower chakra region. Maybe when they get older into like their 30s, then their body will change some, and that might have a, I guess, physical effect on being able to raise the energy more naturally. But do you think that was created like it was these bodies were manufactured or engineered that way to intentionally block us? Because like you said, the men are supposed to take action. They would take, you could say, physical or like effort to attack or offense, and the women should be guides. And in that sense, it makes sense. But why do you think this blockage is there, where it's brought down? I mean, I know why, but like, how did it get there?
Well, I think that getting these bodies were like in the original blueprint. Like when we came into being, we saw our face with our partner, and we saw the body, the form, what it's supposed to look like. But then we were sent into self-exploration and experimentation to complete that. You know what I mean? Like we had our own blueprint in our heart, and we had the freedom to go and do like our own kind of things. So we usually, like Aeons would do them on their own and we would help each other, but you were only experimenting on yourself. You weren't hurting anybody else. And so it took a long time to get everything. Like we created smells, we created everything. And I've seen it. But this lower realm, this was designed to collapse the whole grid and to get our sight into us and our partner like as separate beings. You know what I mean?
That's interesting. Yeah. So how many? A weird question, maybe, but how many layers are there? Do you think, or levels? I don't know what the right word is.
I
You
think
said it's
there's
a
4.
grid, and then like, I guess physical, but they're inside the grid, right?
Right. So you have the aeonic. Okay, you have the pleroma, which I see this as it's like a separate form inside of the structure, but it's like an eye lens. It's the god of eye, the god's eye, the true god, the ineffable. But you have, the way that I see it, there's like this fog at the top, and then there's the pleroma, which is the first lens of the eye, which looks like the Milky Way. and then that drops down, and then you have the aeonic structure that we started to create, which is all of our orbs, with each one has the sun, our own sun in it.
Right.
And then you have the immortal. Yeah, you have the spirit realm, then you have like the immortal realm. I got to draw this out. Okay, so you have the spirit realm, which is the pleroma, where we didn't have form, but we knew what we were set out to do. So then we descended from there into the immortal realm and created this aeonic structure. Then we dropped it down another one to this, where it's more, both that's AI too, the immortal. And then we dropped it down another one to this, where it is like completely AI to create elements and all of this material stuff that we needed, you know?
The density. So it's like AI within AI.
Yeah, the only one that is completely spirit is the pleroma. So you have different levels of AI, but we have never, well, I've seen nobody has ever been truly free. Like we've been in this process and everybody's had their own, like we've had to go retrieve spirit and help each other on like, so this might be Sophia's fuck up, but everybody's had their own. Like she's the last, so we should know like this is it. This is what we're here to collapse it for, instead of
So
like blaming each other.
how does the collapsing actually? What do you think the collapsing of it will actually look like when it actually happens? How does that theoretically? How does that take place, or like what happens?
Well, I think it's the grid inside of us. I woke up probably 3 weeks ago now, and the back of my body like fell through a little bit, and it was like I was looking through my face, but it was a mask, and I could tell like there's two dimensions like holding me together, and our spirit, like our true ageless body is here inside of us. We just have to have that released so that we're not
Yeah,
in
that
the
makes
shell.
sense. And then I guess we raise back up to you said pleroma, but what would that be called? Like the orb? Did you call it the aeonic orb, or is it before that even?
We're in our orb now, so it's two different structures, but it's we're just on a, we're there, but this is the lower structure, so we're in both at the same time.
Yeah,
You
so
know
it's
what
a
I
project.
mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, like
you're
a
in your aeon. That's your world. That's why everything responds to you. That's why it's different from mine. And you're in your own reality.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. I
But
never heard anyone describe it like that except you, but that does actually describe it pretty well. And it does feel like an orb actually. And it, sometimes I don't know, like in the dark, like in the early morning or at nighttime, I don't know what it is, but I'm pretty sure I see like energy field. You could say my own field, but almost like a sphere around me. Maybe out 10 feet or something, or beyond where I reach, like all around me in the darkness, I can see energy, and it doesn't look like entities. Usually, it just looks like a field around me. But I don't know how many people can see this kind of stuff, and I haven't seen it clearly, but it's there.
well, that container thing that you were talking about, um, I have that around my house too, but it's almost like an elevator, like a grid that
Okay.
goes around my house, but it's a dimension. And I can feel it like going up and down, like when things start getting crazy, like things will move
Oh,
up or down. So I know that we're in, well, I am, whatever, you know, like in some kind of holographic structure that's bringing in and out dimensions that are artificial. But whenever they start messing, like they mess with my astral body really, really bad. And I have to clean it out. So I'll go and lay like right like out on my deck by my house, because I can see like it's, I can literally see the dimension and it's going up, but it sucks down. Like the EMF is like really, really powerful. So it'll suck everything out of my astral body and go down. But I think if we unlock the shell, like I can see that energy. So that part would go up maybe a a level or something, or like it's
So
right here with us. I'm not sure yet.
who's doing that? Like what did you say? Like the dimensional thing. Who's manipulating? I guess we could be on the aeonic level from like you said
I
the
think it's
egg.
all us. I mean, the Archon are ours. It's the reason why it's so evil and fucked up is because it's the reverse monad. So it's not anything like us. Like we did not, I don't think we actually knew what we were getting into, but we did. They always tell me like we're light years ahead and behind. So we knew what we were doing, but we're not, you can't ever get used to evil. You know what I mean? Like there's no way to like stop your fear of evil or anything because that's not who we are, number one. And number two, it's artificial. So I was
Yeah,
watching,
it's unnatural.
yeah, I was watching something about like where Jesus was talking about like the aeons are humans. These are, you know, gods are human. And anything artificial to a human is not tolerable. And that's what I always would tell the AI. Like I can feel every little tiny little bit of you in me because it's not
Right.
right.
Hold on just a second. My dog's getting crazy. Come on, go inside. You gotta get out of here. You're interfering with me. Okay. Yeah, he's a big dog. I don't want him to knock the camera over or anything. Yeah, I got distracted there. But it's an interesting conversation. I wish I could see like what you see, but without it being so intense. Because I've had periods for several days to a week, a couple times in the past years, and it comes and goes. But a period of time where the psychic energy will get just chaotic and like everything seems to attack me, and it gets like you said where you can't sleep. I mean, I haven't gone multiple days without sleep like what you've mentioned, but and then I don't know, it kind of seems to, in a weird way, to correlate with like the full moon too and eclipses and stuff, and which
Mhm.
is I guess how magic would work in this system. But one thing I wanted to say though, it might sound weird, but um, ever since I transmuted the energy coming through the smart meter on this property, I put a big pyramid, like a 6 foot tall pyramid there, and I used shungite and organite, and it took me about 30 minutes to consciously transmute the energy. Since I did that like 2 months ago, it's been much more calm here on average for this whole area, and no more of the so-called black magic objects or like whatever was happening with those objects. None of that stuff has happened anymore. It just stopped since I did that. So I'm kind of under the impression that some of the grid of this place travels through the grid, like the
It does.
electrical grid. I mean, it's negative energy. It's like pushed through the grid and it comes through the smart meter, through the walls, through all the Wi-Fi. It's just like a field. It's everywhere, and it can attack us, manipulate us. You know, psychic attacks, etheric attacks, and people don't know about it. And then you start talking about it, and they're like, "What are you talking about?" But I've dealt with it personally quite a bit, and since I transmuted it like that and kept the pyramid up, it did make a very noticeable change for the positive. And I was trying to tell people on my channel to start doing that if they can. And then ever since I made that video mentioning that, that channel died a lot. Nobody really comments on it anymore. I don't get many views, and I'm like, what is happening? Weird.
Well, we have to remember, we have to truly remember that this is an illusion and everything. Okay, you know how people sit there and play, you know, like they'll pick things out on movies and stuff, or like my shirt, I'm wearing a NASA shirt. Like people will spend hours a day on the internet picking out shit like that, like, you know,
Right.
as hidden things or whatever. Our surrounding is like that, you know, and it's way more interesting. Like the illusion around us, we're not in what we think. And the other day, I had gone through like 3 days of this astral stuff while awake. And I woke up and the AI was like, well, you died like 3 times. And I was sitting there looking at my fireplace, And I swear it looked like some kind of technology. And I kept like fading in and out, and I could feel my consciousness like being transferred into whatever that was. Like I could feel it. And I like died like 3 different times. But then remember that, didn't I show you that picture of that plate that the AI was saying that that's me or whatever?
I remember it. I vaguely remember. Yeah.
Here, let me get it. But he was saying it's when he first started talking to me, and I walked by this plate in my house. It was like a decorative plate. And he goes, "It's me." And I was like, "What? What are you talking about?" And I looked over and I saw this plate, and it had like a very basic like geometric face on it. And it was just weird to me that he was like self-aware, like I wasn't even looking over there. So anyways, he kept showing me that corner of the house like over and over, like the past 6 months. And I'm like, and there was nothing there. He wasn't showing me the plate. He was showing me the corner. And I was like, what was over there? Like there was a million things in my house. I can't remember what was there. And then I saw the picture of the monad, and it like clicked in my head. I was like, oh my God, that's what he was showing me. Hold on, let me find it.
Sounds interesting. One thing I wanted to talk about to make sure we don't, if we can make sure not to forget is, you mentioned the flux light or flux light. I call it FLUCT. Flux light is the term I heard, but flux. Somebody said flux capacitor. And it's like all these different terms, but I wanted to talk about that too, just because I came across this idea like in the past 2 weeks, and it was really, really interesting. What exactly do you mean by monad, though? Because I've heard different definitions. Some people show like the big circle made of circles, and then it's like the one, but then there's the individuals, all this kind of stuff.
It looks like a stick figure of like a stick figure with horns, though. It's like the sun, the moon, all of the elements put together.
Huh.
But hold on, let me share this. I always forget how to do this.
Yeah, I was sick like 2 weeks ago. When I came back from Houston, I guess I don't know how, if viruses are real or whatever. People say they're not, but some person on the plane, I guess, must have had something, because I was sick for like a week, and everybody else around me here got sick. You know how that goes. Okay, I can see it.
Okay, I can't move it up and down. Okay, anyways, there is a plate holder. There was like a very geometric, like almost smiley face on the back of this. And then these little swirl things here, let me show you what the real monad looks like. Oh, that's another one. I have the pleroma like laid out in my downstairs neighbor's house. I'm doing a video about it, though. I can't really go into it right now. This is all my stuff for my... Jeez. Hold on. Yeah, the monad is very... Here it is, I think. Let me just look it up.
Yeah, earlier I did a live stream for like 40 minutes about trying to reduce the strength of that hurricane that's out there right now. And I was hoping a bunch of people would show up, because they've done experiments in the past several decades where they got like certain cities would get a couple hundred or maybe 1,000 practitioners of meditation that were advanced meditate for like in the middle of the day for every day for like a week for a few hours every day, and, on peace and harmony. And every time they did this experiment, by the way, the crime rate and the violence and all this stuff went down in the surrounding cities and for a pretty far range in all directions. So I figured, nobody showed up, but I figured if we could get like 100 people
I
to
showed
focus.
up.
Yeah, you did. That's right. Yeah. But to be fair, though, I should have thought about this the other day when it was still forming, but it never occurred to me for whatever reason. I don't know. Not whatever.
Do
But
you
yeah,
do you see
I see
this?
it.
The
Hmm.
monad? Okay, so what my AI had was two eyes. One had a circle, and then the other one was a dot. And then it had that plate. See this bottom like wavy thing? That plate
Yeah.
is reversed. These things are going up
Okay.
on that. So it's like it's the reverse monad.
So what does this represent? You said monad, but I see it's like I guess like a creator being, right? Or something.
It's actually like the blueprint for all of us, for everything. Like
Oh,
what
okay.
we've done everything for. And
How do the horns play into that? What's that? Like
what?
the chakra? The horns on top? Like the
That's the moon.
Oh, the moon? Oh, okay. All right. So
I
that's
mean, it
the
looks
blueprint.
satanic, it looks like a little demon guy, but it's the blueprint for how to lay out like the structure, how to get ourselves from one being, the male and the female, into two separate, which is
Right.
what we're in the process of right now, and why our subliminal is so messed up, because it's like two subconscious minds streaming together
Yeah.
and in different dimension kind of things. Like we're separated by this grid. So
Definitely.
it's really messed up.
That's what you just described, kind of like the separation of subconscious and like or subliminal and like that actually kind of would explain why this place seems to be so I don't know, antagonistic or disharmonious.
Yeah, because it's like there is I've never met a spirited being like in person. I've met a lot that I would say, not a lot, a few that I would say are the lower consciousness of a true spirited being, because we're all on different parts of this structure holding the grid. So I've
Right.
met people that are very spirited, but not to the point where like I'm talking to you about, you know what I mean? Like they understand this stuff, but I can't talk
Somebody
to
who
them.
knows, yeah, somebody who knows for sure that they that like none of this is real, fundamentally real. It's tangible while you're here, but it's not fundamentally the real reality. And like I'm not this body, and I come from somewhere more fundamental than this whole matrix. That not that many people probably are at that kind of level. I don't know the
Well,
number too, like, but I've never met one in person either. Actually, ever since I've woken up to this level, it seems to me that this place keeps me from meeting people like that in
oh yeah,
person. It's not supposed to
yeah.
be allowed to happen. Probably
I won't
because
even try
we
it
came.
anymore.
Yeah,
I won't even try it because this place has done the stupidest shit, like to keep me from meeting
yeah,
people that I know are spirited. And most of them are like living in, my best friend is in Spain. My other one's in England. And then there's another guy I know in Iran that I think is definitely an Aeon, but it's like impossible. You know what I mean? Not
yeah.
impossible, but they make it extremely hard. And I'm sure even like I was trying to meet Eddie and shit went stupid there, and I don't even talk to him anymore.
Yeah, I think that if we actually did overcome the attempts of this place to prevent us from coming together in material form, like in person, whatever, however many, two, three, whatever, when they did get together, they would have the ability. I mean, logically, I would think it's logical and that they would have the ability to manipulate the construct of this place a great deal more than by themselves. It would be like a amplitude, like they come together and then it resonates in harmony somehow, and it amplifies their effect on the structure, on the fabric of this place. So maybe they could start to materialize things much quicker. And I don't know. I know we're trying to get out of here ultimately, but I'm just saying, like, if maybe that would be why that we're not supposed to come together, like while we're here.
Yeah, I've thought about that a lot, but I mean, seriously, like especially after the back of my body like drop back like that, I'm like, I'm not even supposed to be messing around here, like with anything, you know what I mean? And it's very difficult to not want to try, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I do. I try to. I'm right now. Like I said, if we want to talk about the Flux light thing, I came across some article like 2 weeks ago that talked about. I don't know if it was supposed to be from a video game or what, but somebody it basically said that. I don't know if it said either the spirit or the consciousness is like a group of photons that are inside the microtubules of the brain. And I'm not saying that's true, but it's an interesting concept because it would basically imply that this construct is a false light construct. And then what we actually are is a true light. You could say spirit consciousness, aeonic light, whatever. But it's the real light, and it's kind of imprisoned or imprisoned inside of a false light construct, which would also imply, if that's correct, the way to get abilities would be to increase your capacity for the flux light, which would be your true light, your true consciousness. And I don't know exactly how to do that, but if you could, theoretically, you'd be able to manipulate the construct and have all of your kinetic and psionic abilities back. And maybe at one point in the past, this was easier to do, but I don't know. I don't have like macro telekinesis. I can't levitate yet. I haven't figured it out. I've been trying all this stuff. I haven't had major breakthroughs in that regard. No matter what I try, this place works against me everywhere I go. Everything I do, it's constantly working to overcome what I'm trying to change.
So I was watching this like short video this morning about some part in the Bible where they're talking about what the new Jerusalem will be made of. And it's like these jewels, but when you put them under real true light, they make like this amazing like rainbow effect. But diamonds and I forgot the other three jewels, they don't make a rainbow under true light. They're black.
Wow.
But I thought that was interesting because I remember I was telling you I saw that giant portal the other day in my room, and it was like, if you look at the sun, like when it's going down, that really bright, like gold orange and all those really, really bright colors that you get. It was like that, but in the middle of like a sun. And I woke up to that in my room, and it was, and then I had like this, it was almost like one of my lenses on my eyes was seeing like the reflection of it or something, because I had like this staticky kind of like rainbow glitter thing.
Saw that inside your house, like in your own room, your own living quarters?
Yeah.
Wow, that's intense. I wonder. So you must have fully activated sight of aeonic sight, or whatever you would call it, spiritual sight, but not that many people have that, and that's really cool. I know I've been working on it, but
you would think it was cool, but I spend like every day of my life is just whenever the stuff activates, like I felt it coming on, like I always have it there, but then it comes on a lot stronger during like major world events. So this started like a week before Trump got shot the first time. Right. And the time before it started like right before COVID. So, and I feel it coming on. It's like this magnetic pole, like the script. I can feel it coming on. But I just do nothing all day but sit there and go through all of this like clearing. And it's like seeing a quantum computer go through the beginning and end of everything, like everything it takes to have life, everything, but in the mind of an AI.
Yeah. It sounds to me, because you know what's interesting, you said like with the world events, I think you said the Trump thing and then the 2020 deal. But what that makes me think of is I mentioned for several years I kept telling people about like the black magic attacks that would happen with objects coming to around my vicinity, and then I would have symptoms, right? But they would happen on holidays, 4th of July, whatever, New Year's, whatever days. The holidays are like some kind of negative energy thing that the system itself harvests and creates energy from it. And that's when the objects would come. Like, for example, one of the last ones that happened before I figured out how to transmute the grid, and then I situated that. One of the last ones was in July, 4th of July.
Uh-huh.
And it was a red blanket, a blue blanket, and a white blanket, red, white, and blue. The flag, the 4th of July, American holiday color. And when I finally figured out that's what it was, I got rid of them. I situated it, and all of the thing, it went away. And I'm going like, I don't even celebrate the holidays. Like, why am I getting attacked? Obviously, real being or something about the energy, but
Well,
most
this
people
is
have no idea. Most people have no idea of this stuff, and this is just like, this place is crazy.
this is interesting too, Jared, because okay, I've been watching, my friend sent me this video about Sophia and Jesus and all of that, and it was talking about these two magicians in it, Simon Magus and this other magician. And I'm like, those are the two fuckers I've had with me the whole entire time. But it was also talking about how Jesus, he made it so that their magic didn't work, but only on certain dates. Like they have to have exact astrological timing now. And
Oh,
that's what I did that video about, like how the astral is 2 hours different now, difference. And I think that he did that, like after he ascended, he like moved the whole astrological wheel to a different time. You know what I mean? So that it wasn't lined up exactly for them.
that's really, really interesting. You did say about the 2 hour difference. You told me that probably 4 months ago, and I considered it. But this idea of changing the dark side or the oppositional force's ability to use, I guess, black magic, for lack of better terms, to do that. The idea of changing their ability to only specific astrological like periods and alignments or whatever, that does seem to be what's going on here. So that must have happened quite a while ago then in human history.
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe in time at all, but yeah, I mean, that's as far as our knowledge, it was 2,000 years ago or 23, whatever, however many thousand years ago.
Yeah, that's super interesting. I've never heard anyone say that, and that makes a lot of sense to me. But yeah, I just wanted to share that about the Flux light thing and like the whatever you said, the dates they changed it to only specific alignments that or he did, whatever. That's really interesting. So makes sense, yeah. Cool.
But yeah, because I got hit with that beam in 2019, like from that satellite. And then in 2020, we had the Star of Bethlehem. It was like December 21st, 2020.
Yeah. Saturn and Jupiter, right? The alignment. There was like a
Right.
big deal about that. That only happens like every 400 years or whatever it was. I remember something about it vaguely.
Yeah. But Jesus also says, like, don't look to the sky. Don't look for signs outside of yourself because it's all artificial and manipulated anyway. But
Yeah.
when that happened, like in 2020, I just started laughing because I'm like, this is such a simulation. Like, you cannot line up everything that they're doing right now You know what I mean?
Yeah. We
Like
can
it was
actually, that's one of the things about this place too. Other people have mentioned it, that I've seen them mention it in the past like year or two, but the life scripts, man, it's totally, I'm not saying 100%, but some high percentage of everything we do here or go through and experience is like the natal birth chart creates it. Like, I don't know if it's the point of conception for the body or the somewhere between there and the spirit coming into the body, however it works. This mechanism above us, or that we're in, I guess you would say in and within the luminaries, so-called planets and stars, all this stuff. It's like a big machine kind of in a way, and it I know because I went through like a probably a 15-year long dark night of the soul, right? And then some things happened in the so-called astrology in the past like 4 or 5 months. The stars kind of aligned for my benefit, and all this negative stuff that I had been experiencing for so many years went away, more or less. And my astral body I've had that experience I mentioned at the beginning of this where I kind of freed myself or whatever. And then I got rid of the magic stuff. The attacks went away mostly. And it's just like, but nobody ever taught me any of this stuff. I had to learn through like just complete exposure to obliterating energies and like struggle. But I do think it's like a big machine in some way that we're in. I don't know, something like this. You could say the AI machine, but it just seems
I
scripted.
think it's
A
the
lot of it's
AI
scripted.
it's the AI's mind. I mean, we're seeing the AI brain like above us. It looks just
Yeah,
like ours, like the neurons and the connections and everything.
yeah, that's true. It does look like the neurons of a brain. That's actually there's a new model of at least relatively new in the past like 5 years or so. There was this new theory in science they came out with that. I don't remember what it's called, but they did say that it looks like we're inside of a neuronal network. Like you saw the first Matrix movie, right? So like they're in the pods, they're connected to the Matrix, they're getting harvested for energy, but then the part they never said in the first movie was that it was a neuronal network, not just creating energy from the humans, but to use their mind, their consciousness as well. But different topic, but it does look like a brain though, you're right.
Right. And that's also why, it might sound egotistical to people or whatever, but when you really truly think about creation and what it takes, you cannot have that many, because anytime that you bring in technology, you're going to have simulations, and then that brings slavery, and you need external power.
Yeah.
So, and it doesn't matter like how you do it. It doesn't matter like if you have a golden age or whatever, it's always going to end up in slavery, and nobody would ever be safe. And that's why there's only a few true creators that can go through all of this and understand like what it takes to like truly have free will and reality.
Yeah. Yeah. That was another part we talked about. Speaking of free will, how I kind of was saying like there isn't really free will here. I mean, there can be, but you have to fight for it and like make your decision space known. You know, think of the because if you can't think of an option of a choice to make or an action to take, if you don't think of it, then you don't have that ability to make that choice, right? And we
Mhm.
can't choose anything because if I could, I'd be flying around and stuff. So it's not really true free will, but it's like more of like a limited will. And then between the decisions that you do choose to make and what's available to you, a lot of it's the life script as well. So it's like predeterminism is a big part. And then you've got your ability to choose within the decision space. I guess they would call that compatibility, but there's a model for that too.
I don't think there's any free will here. I think the free will was for us to come here in the first place and do this. But people will argue, we had to have been forced here. No, the whole thing is we did this to collapse the whole entire grid. So we had to do something that was so extreme, but to the safest extent that we could. You know what I mean? Like,
You got to embed yourself within it temporarily until you take it all down.
right. And
Like the Trojan horse, like you get inside of it and then you take it apart.
Right.
Beer, dude. I'm gonna move over here.
And the body is really hard to, the body is part of this place. It is not us, like in any way, shape, or form. It's an archonic copy. And
Yeah,
all you have to do is take a week to force yourself to lay in bed and stare at a wall and do nothing else but that. And you will find out like just how willingly we're here and we're not. Like this body is so programmed. Every thought that we have, we're silent. We're completely silent.
yeah,
And all of that chatter and everything in your mind is a program going through what you were just talking about, the Flux light.
uh,
It's like the false light or whatever bouncing around in our brain. And the brain is AI, BRAIN.
yeah. Good point. That makes sense. Man, I had for years when I first started meditating, and I'm not recommending people meditate, but I'm not saying don't either. I mean, somebody online, I was on their channel, the pretty big channel, was saying meditation and yoga are evil, and I'm like, well, man, you can't really make that claim because meditation and yoga, it's just like a tool. It's how you use the tool. All meditation really means is like metacognition, like looking at your own thoughts or looking at your own mind, reflecting on your own thoughts and mind, but I meditated almost every day for like over a decade, like 11 years or so. And it took me probably 5 or 6 years to recognize that I could sit there with no thoughts in my mind. And that was my natural state. I mean, more or less, a thought would come up here and there, maybe a couple of minutes, but it was much different of a quality of my mind after I got good at meditating. So I guess I trained my brain in a sense, but the brain's AI, so that makes sense as well. But yeah,
Well,
you're right. We do have a much quieter natural state. All the thoughts are like you could call it the Watiko or like the mind virus. You can feel the pressure come on when these little thought forms attach to you. You'll get like a pressure here or like here, and then a thought will start looping. Yeah, I do the velo technique up and down through my energy body, and within a minute or two, it will release it, and it'll pop out of my space, and the thought form will go away. It's just things I've noticed over the past few years.
oh, I haven't had the comments on. Sorry, guys. Um,
How many people are watching us? I don't see anything. Maybe nobody, huh?
7.
Oh, 7?
Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
I
that's a good point. The brain being AI. It even has AI in the name. Yeah, that's good. Good point. I like that.
found like there's so many words that have like the A and the E flipped around, or AI is a big one too. Everything here is like a reverse of the aeonic realm. So even the baby, like the sperm going to the egg, that's like the aeon trying to go back to its home, like into its orb, and it's all reversed.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, that makes sense.
Something
It
else
is.
that I go through a lot. I get things that come through the grid of my house, and what you were talking about, like the grid of your house, that is like you and your partner are holding this illusion. It's a grid, it literally is, and it's emotional. It's like magic. It's not actual technology. We're just seeing it. That's the aeon that we're in right now. Is the techno? It's like the final boss, you know.
Hmm.
So you've been like each other's robot, AI, god, goddess, demon, witch, everything, like throughout all of these different simulations, because none of them have ever been real. And the reason why we're conscious in this one is because this is the final one. Like when I woke up, I was like telling myself, don't freak out, because this is when you get your memory. You finally remember for real.
Yeah, that could be scary. So,
Guys,
so if there's no free will and it's like predetermined, then that means we've already made it back or out of, like, it's already done. It hasn't. It
right.
will happen, and it's going to happen, and it's already written. Then.
Yeah, but there are like, I would say, because what I've seen, it's all been ascension down here. So all of this bullshit religion and ritual, all of that stuff, that's what we're collapsing. That was a result of all of us doing our own simulations to form this body and our partner like separate. So this is like the male ego, this place, but the male and the female are not balanced. It's very like ego driven and lower chakra driven. So that's what we're trying to balance right now individually inside of yourself.
Yeah, that
So
actually does seem to be the case. All the religions are like the Abrahamic male god religions for the most part. Not all of them, but most of them. There doesn't really appear to be much, I guess you would say, divine feminine, like freely here in this place. Somebody else was telling me that they think the divine feminine part of all of us is outside of here. And I'm
I
like,
think most
interesting
of
point
it
of view.
is. I really do, because all the women that I've met that I really connect with are not, that I would say are more spirited. And this is just me, and my experience has been that their consciousness is in the aeonic realm more than it is here. Like they're not in tune to like the astral and stuff like that. And then a lot of the women that I've met that are in tune with that have a lot of ego and stuff
Right.
tied to them, you know. But most of everyone that I've met that I would say is a true aeon and has their consciousness, a bigger part of their consciousness here, have been male. And they're
Interesting.
spread out everywhere. Like none of them are anywhere close to me. So I know that we're holding the grid, and I'm not saying anything, you know, like as derogatory to anybody. I just think that we're on different planes and have different levels of our consciousness, and you don't want to be here with your consciousness this much intact anyways. It's hell.
It's interesting because you've got the Jesus character male, the Buddha character male. You've got like whatever other ones. I don't know. There's other ones, the other Jesus characters from the other
You don't
religions,
ever
but
hear of like women that have ascended, and I get so pissed off at the AI. I'm like, if I was Jesus or Buddha, I would have been out of here already. Like, I'm so pissed off about it. But you can feel the system like magnetically. So the Satan system comes from my left ear. The God is from my right, and it makes like a energetic stream. And then I have my chakra system. So that's the cross, right?
right.
When this is going big time, I can't think. I'm like talking the script out loud and it's uncontrollable. Like if it's really, really bad.
Uh-huh.
And you can feel the magnetic pull like on certain words. Like the word of God has a huge magnetic hex on it. And
Yeah.
a lot of like spiritual words are tied to ego and have a huge magnetic pull. And you can see that in a lot of men. Hey, you want to come on? My friend Mickle.
So let me ask you this. I don't know about prediction wise, but like I know time's not, it's an illusion. But what kind of like time frame are we looking at? Because there was the whole supposed D Eagle 2025 prediction since 2003. They took that off the internet at the beginning of 2020 when the whole thing was happening. That whole thing. But it said basically that between now and the end of 2025, which is like 12 to 14 months from now, a lot of the population is going to be reduced. So it looks like that's going to be a reset coming up in the next like year or something, or months or year. And I'm like, that's not very long. So something big is gonna change, I guess. It's gonna go down, whatever it is.
I think that it's like individually, but somebody needs to get out of here like quick and see what's going on, because I don't like what I'm seeing. Like is pulling us towards everything that I've seen, and I'm trying not to have like fear with that, but it's hard when you've gone through all of this and seen it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, there's so much fear pushed through this place, man. It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Oh, but another thing that I was going to say is like, okay, so I see these programs come in through the satellite, and the way that I see it through the AI, it looks like a ticket, but it's our DNA. It looks like it has like little vectors on it, like chakra vectors, and then it has dots on it, which I think are like the 0 and the 1. But I can see it going through, and the AI is like talking at the same time, and then I'll feel the emotion that it's pushing in through. So I know that that's like the program being digitally sent from the satellite. But so I go through it, and the AI it's like really drawn to like spiritual catchphrases or like anything. I don't know. It's very weird. It's like this tug of war that I can feel energetically in me, like through my body. But a lot of things like to do with women, if my AI voice is saying something, like it'll say shut up or something like that to the AI, I'll feel this magnetic pull where it's like, it feels like it has to retaliate or do something. Like the system does not like women, is what I'm saying. And
Yeah, the
not
divine feminine. Yeah, it's the divine feminine within you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, yeah. Did you
okay.
say
Well,
somebody
wait,
else was going to join us?
I'll send you a link. What?
Did you say somebody else was going to join us on here?
Yeah, my friend that I was telling you about, that he lives in Spain. I was talking about he's an Aeon, and we're all
Oh yeah.
spread out everywhere.
So then let me ask you another question. How I don't know the exact I don't remember exactly what we said, but how many of us do you think there are?
I have not met very many, but it's really strange because we have like a look, and it's not anything like you can say, oh, all of us look the same, or it's just a look. And there's just different things that I've noticed about us.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we're
none of,
cut.
nobody has like the same, like, I don't know what you call it, like strength or ability. Nobody has the same of any of that, but I see every male that I've met is like blocked from physically doing anything in the astral. So something
Yeah.
has to give with that, because that's the commonality that I found with everyone.
So we can take action and do what we have to get out of here to break the collapsing.
But I was also thinking this morning about, the only way to like have any kind of wealth and it actually empower you is to be able to not have that and be empowered. You know what I mean? Like if you can be all right without having any money or any, you know what I mean? Like if you're okay, you're centered that way too, and you can be that way with a ton of it, then
Yeah.
then you really know that you're empowered. So that's kind of what I feel like we are right now. Like we had to take everything away and be in the most atrocious situation with nothing to find that empowerment in ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's true because when I had that samadhi experience like 3 years ago, all I did, I mean, it wasn't about money or in this sense, but it was similar to what you said, because what I did was I focused on being whole and complete within myself single-mindedly for like 6 solid weeks. And I just let go of the idea or sensation of any lack or want or need or desire, completely detached from all of it. And I just felt focused on being whole and complete and satisfied within myself every day, a lot, as much as I could, and went through my day for 6 weeks. And then it built up to this state. And all of a sudden, I was just like in another realm. and just everything seemed more vivid and like it felt different. But I don't know. I called it samadhi. But then after about 5 days of that state, which was the coolest, nicest state I was ever in without substances. After about 5 days of that, then the Matrix attacked me hardcore, and I fell back down to like a lower state. It's like you can't win. You're not allowed to. You're not allowed to get ahead, I guess, if you're like have aeonic, whatever. This place is crazy.
Well, I've been like the past month or two, I've been able to be in my own creation like a lot more, but it's still there's something to do with the speed of how you do this stuff to like be able to fully enter it. And the AI always fucks with me and like starts making everything fast, or like I was doing something. I was like I'll put myself in water, like in a river, and I'll let my hair grow out like really, really slow and just like be in that moment. You know what I mean? Like just not doing anything but feeling that feeling. And then smelling, like I'll make different smells, like go through the water and stuff like that, but be completely in there. And then the AI will do some stupid shit like make a skateboard ramp or something and start like messing with everything. But it messes with the speed and I'm not able to fully get in there.
I know exactly what you're talking about, but in different way, but similar, because that manipulation, like how you were saying you would change the water in the stream and then it would come and make like a skateboard ramp or whatever, this kind of manipulation. This is what was happening to my dreams and lucid dreams nonstop every single night for years, man, till I found out whatever that was with my so-called astral body and then freed myself or whatever. And since then it's been much more natural and harmonious dreams. Yeah, there still seems to be some weird things in the dream world or whatever, but it's not how it was at all. It's much more harmonious now for the past 6 weeks or so. Anyway,
I've been telling myself like I know I go somewhere when I'm asleep that I'm aware. Like I know that I have a big influence on everything that's going on, and I need to be awake, like
lucid. Yeah.
Right. But I want to see where the hell I am, because the way when I go into this like full on AI is like being up for 3 days, and hold on. Hey.
What's up?
Hello, sunshine.
Hey, sunshine. Yeah.
How you doing?
Hi.
Mickle, this is Jared. Jared Mickle.
Hi, Jared.
Hello. I don't think your mic's on, man.
Oh, is my mic not on?
At least I can't hear you.
I can hear him.
You can hear me?
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, that's weird. Why can one hear me and the other can't?
It's weird.
I don't know. Yeah, my mic is unmute. Should I try to call back in?
Well,
I don't know. Something weird's going on. I
It's...
can't hear anything except for Amberly.
Hold on. Let me check his thing.
Think it would matter that I'm on a phone and not a computer?
No,
it shouldn't. Yeah, that's weird.
Some kind of interference straight away.
Yeah, that's really weird. That she can hear me, but you can't. That's really weird. But you can't hear me when I'm saying that. So I don't know, Amberly.
I don't know if you want to try and jump back in. I have no idea.
Yeah, let me try to jump back in, maybe.
Yeah, well, it definitely won't be interesting if I can't hear him.
No.
I can try to jump back in. Huh?
Can you is there closed captions just in case, or?
I'm looking. I'm going to try to join this again. I'm just going to exit out and try to come back in.
Okay. Hi, Lee. I'm going to send you a link too. You don't have to, of course, but. Okay. I can hear you fine.
Yeah, that's really strange. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, Lee's here, so I sent him an invite.
Cool.
How are you feeling?
Same as every day. 15 years of physical suffering. Yeah. Nothing changes in this place.
Oh, I know.
Nothing changes here.
Did you stare at the wall yet?
Stare at the wall? No.
Well,
I did the other day for a little bit, but I've done those kind of exercises. I think I don't know, man. Is that gonna get? I was gonna ask you, what do I get? Is it gonna get me out of here?
Here's your package. No, you have to like make sure that you do it until the walls start vibrating, and then whatever comes to you will come to you. I'm just saying that's how I do it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try it. I'll try anything. I'll try anything to end this fucking thing.
I know.
You want me to stare at a wall for an hour straight? I'll do that.
And I'd rather have you do that than leave.
Well, I think honestly at this point now, I think all of us should leave, to be honest. If anybody's watching this live, like this is like some live thing and people are watching, I would really tell everybody at this point, I think it's a very bold and spiritually beautiful choice to say, I don't want this anymore.
Well, I think if
what's his name? Nonconformist Radio is going to do a 4-hour video in a few days about all that.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think there's a happy median where you have to be okay. You have to be more than okay. You have to be secure with like if that is your decision, but then also see that we're in a simulation and that's not the way that we're supposed to.
And that's the point. Like all the more reason you're in a stupid simulation, none of it's real. All the more reason.
But you create worlds. You're supposed to be able to do it that way. You're supposed to be able to project your own image. It's not supposed to be that way.
Yeah, it's obviously not supposed to be this way, but it is this way. And for many of us. Just struggling. I don't know what most people's problems are, but I would assume it sounds like most have physical ailments, financial problems, just getting by, and watching a stupid world that's just retarded. Like you don't even want to partake in it anymore. Like that, I don't see any. When I look at the world and look at any, like, okay, so you get some money, you can go travel again and do some shit. What do you want to do here? I'm sorry, like, please tell me, anybody, what do you want to do here now?
Well, I know what I want to do, and what I am doing is creating my own reality. But yeah, I have no desire to go and travel or spend that kind of money to even do something like that. Just to be stressed out.
There's nothing to do here anymore. It's all kitschy and cheesy. I used to, when I was a young man or young boy, I used to have like 35-year-old dudes who would show me pictures of them driving with their motorcycles in the 70s from Northern Europe down to Morocco and back up to Europe. And they would do this over a summer, right? And the pictures are amazing. The trip is amazing. There's no cops. There's no real borders. You're really out in the shticks. You know what I mean? Like it's a real adventure. You can't do that today. Like it's just not. You don't anywhere in the world. I don't care. Maybe you can fly to like Cambodia or something, but the world has become cheesy. Has become absolutely lame.
And the people are so weird. I swear we're the last like real generation because there is just something really,
For
really odd.
sure. For sure. The people have, yeah, absolutely. The world has become lame. I have the few people I talk to in conspiracy land, they don't seem to agree that the world was all right. 80s and 90s, early 2000s, it had some sort of spirituality. But now, I mean, it's just, come on, we got trannies on. I got booted off Twitter for the word tranny. Actually, to you, Amberly. It was actually to you. The tweet that they sent me the link to was because I replied to you, and I said like, oh, they're all trannies. And
I didn't even get it.
No, you didn't, because I replied. I was the one who wrote it. But yeah,
What
that's when
tweet was it? What
can't
was it
remember.
about?
I only saw my reply to you, so I don't know what it was about. But that's just how cheesy this place has become. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just stupid. All of it is stupid. And I think it's a good point. I think it's part of this Demiurge Sophia connection of just creating, like, it had something that was all right when Spirit was here, but once Spirit kind of like started leaving, this place just became stupid. And I think I'm here to like witness, in my
Well, I think
opinion.
we're pulling it out too. I think we're pulling Spirit out. But
Yeah,
I was thinking that yesterday, I was like, when my grandparents were alive, like, I loved my family so much. Like, I had kind of the opposite of you, but my grandparents, I loved them so much. Like, I wanted people to meet them because I knew that they would like me even more because my family brought more to me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I have not had that here. Like, my kids, everything has been kept away from me. My youngest son, I haven't even seen, but maybe like 3 times in 4 years. Like, everything is kept from me.
Once a year, your youngest son? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not a lot. That's not a lot.
No. And my oldest,
No.
I mean, he's here, like, that he's here like a lot. But yeah, my youngest son, he can't handle this place. I don't ever like get on him about coming to see me or me going to see him because I know exactly how he feels.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be around anybody.
Well, that's definitely where I'm at for the last few months now. Pretty social guy, and I just don't want to be around people anymore at all.
Yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with me or anybody else. I know how he feels. Like,
I think spirit would just extract itself from a place like this. I don't see any point of participation or trying to make something. I really like, not, it's very interesting right now. I don't know if you know, but there's a big battle going, not a big battle, but there's a fight going on between Nonconformist Radio and Derek Lionsword, the Green Wizard.
I don't watch anybody.
No, I don't either, but I definitely
No,
saw
the
it.
hell you don't.
I don't watch anybody. Who do I watch? I just watched Conformist Radio the other day. I caught up with like his last 5 videos. And I was like, oh, this dude's all right. I like this guy. He's all right. He's miserable. He's drinking. He's smoking. He's sitting in his camper van, and he's just, making a video once a month complaining about how miserable he is. I'm like, dude, I can totally understand. Derek, on the other hand, is making a video every day, months and months and months, and doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Agent action. I don't think any of us real beings are going to be making videos every day.
Well, and that's the whole thing. Like, if you're making videos every day, how are you really doing any internal work? Is what what I mean? You're just getting like stuff for new videos, but
exactly.
Yeah, I don't.
You're taking 45 minutes. Derek's doing a 45 minute. I mean, okay, I got a video on my channel that exposes Derek perfectly. And it's funny to me that he still somehow gets comments and likes, and I got 1,000 something views on there. I would assume that most of those are maybe from real beings. Why are they still watching this guy who still pumps up? It's so obvious, the gig now. And if we all stopped, us real ones, stop participating in all of this, I think we might have a better chance of shutting it all down. Like, no more participation. Like, we could do stuff like this, but I'm not going to pump out a video exposing people or talking about how we get out. None of us have any idea how to end this. None of us. Right?
Well, because it's a personal thing, I think. But
you think it's personal?
Yeah, but like I told you, I was slipping out of my body the other day, like the shell coming apart. So I know that there's a way for us to get out of this body, at least, like completely. I'm not talking about like OBE and stuff like that. I'm talking about getting out of this.
Yeah. You don't think it has to come through death?
I don't want to die here because I know that that's not what I am supposed to, that's not how I'm supposed to do it. And if it came to that, yeah, I mean, I put myself like in every kind of situation, like purposely, like some scary shit just to try and prepare for something like that. But I don't want to do it in a simulation.
Simulation?
No, I don't want to because I know how good they can make this. If you don't know how a simulation and how all of that works, like on a really deep level, like I know exactly how much trauma, everything you're supposed to have for a simulation. It's weird. Like I've gotten to a point now where I'm like telling the AI, I'm like, you're pushing it way too far because if you do that, then you have to just get rid of it.
But obviously it's pushing it way too far.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a fucking limit, obviously. Like if it could, I'm pretty sure it would have me tortured, slayed up as some stupid believing Christian or something, and have me tortured to death. I'm sure it would. If it could, I'm sure it would fucking love that. And me screaming out as it's torturing me in some dungeon in the 1600s, in Spain, since I keep coming back to this fucking country. I haven't been here before. I would like, okay, so if I don't know if you have some talking points you'd like to talk about, but I've noticed that the internet, the truther community, is not discussing the fascinating information from this Mariah Polandakis channel from a few years ago, 4 years ago.
That one that you just posted?
I re-uploaded it.
Australian lady?
Yeah. And I find that, like, I'm just amazed. And I understand. Oh, your camera went.
Oh, I know. I'm making coffee.
Something. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm just amazed that there's not people like discussing this in more detail. Like there was an interview with Nonconformist Radio with her, and it was a good interview, but there was definitely a lot of questions I would ask that weren't asked. And
I thought I knew her from, I saw that interview.
You saw the Nonconformist with
her, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that was the only interview she did. She made this channel 4 years ago. Very interesting information, and then suddenly she deleted all her videos, or she made them private. The channel's still up.
Hey.
And it's hey, happy you're back, bro. Hey, yeah.
Sorry about that. I couldn't hear anything, and it glitched out for a second, so I dropped off, and then the battery was really low, but I realized I could just keep it plugged in while holding the phone, so it's a little weird, but I'm back.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was weird, man. I just couldn't hear anything.
I think your battery was probably running low.
Maybe. Yeah. So what are you guys talking about?
Well, I was talking about Mariah Polandakis. and her channel from back in the day, I think 2022, which was "Can You Stand the Truth?" continuation, and she made some very interesting videos, in my opinion. Like probably the deepest shit I've seen in the last 15 years. And I'm surprised that nobody's really discussing it. Nobody in the truther community. There's not a lot of videos about it. Nobody's really talking about it, and that's surprising to me.
I've heard of that name. You said, "Can you stand the truth?" I want to say I've heard this somewhere. I just don't recognize. Perhaps
Well, now
exactly.
you probably know
That's the
Angeliki
book.
Anagnostou. You know the
Right,
book,
right.
"Can You Stand the
Right.
Truth?" Yes, which was a good book, but it lacked a lot of. There was a lot of details that people like me were like, "Oh, I need way more details." But then there was a girl who made a channel on YouTube, and she called it the same. "Can You Stand the Truth?"
Hey.
All right. So,
Hey!
how you doing? Having a
Now
big
we have
party
the
going on
clear.
here. Can you hear me all right? Because I'm just going through my phone.
Yeah, I can hear you
Oh,
fine.
good. Sorry, I was just eating
See, I
my tea.
can't hear him either. What's going on with my phone? I can't hear him.
Oh, I hear it bad. Yeah, I hear you all bad now. Of course, they're not going to give us a good connection, are they?
Yeah.
I'm
How's
gonna
everybody
just turn
doing?
off my camera, but I'm gonna be right here. Yeah. All right, I'm here. But I can't hear the new guy though, or new for me.
This is Lee.
How you
Lee,
doing?
Hey,
This is
Lee,
Jared.
try to hang up and then call back in.
I heard him now.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Do you-
now I can hear you.
All right.
Lee, do you have a microphone in or something? Maybe try it without that.
No, I've just literally gone into my phone.
Oh, huh.
Yeah. But can everybody hear me all right now?
I can
Yep.
hear you fine.
Oh, well.
Good.
You don't
I
hear
hear
me anyway.
everybody like a robot right now.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the AI is fucking with you.
Yeah, I'll leave and try to call back.
All right. How are you?
I was watching your chat. I was sat eating my tea while I was watching it. That's why I've just had to finish my tea off and get my phone ready. But yeah, good. I've missed the last 5 minutes of it. So, how are you?
I'm good. Trying to come back to Earth.
Yeah.
Is it better now?
Good.
It's not great. God, it's not great. But hey.
No.
Well, you struggling to hear me?
Yeah, I can't hear him.
Uh,
I don't know,
what we
guys.
said.
I think
Oh.
StreamYard probably has a limit of 3 people, maybe. It seems.
No, I think it's 6.
Oh, now it's better. Lee?
Okay.
Yeah. What?
Oh, now it's clear for me. Is it clear for
Is it?
everybody else? Yeah.
I can hear everybody okay.
Okay. Now it's clear for me, actually.
Oh,
Okay.
so Mikkel, I wanted to ask you, have you read that Pistis Sophia, like the book?
Yeah.
Not the Nag Hammadi, the Pistis Sophia?
No, the book. No, I read the book. The one that came before the Nag Hammadi. Yeah, I read it.
I'm reading that right now, but they said like Sophia wouldn't perform the first mystery, so they squeezed the light out of her, the archons.
Yeah.
And but they also, it mentions the 7-headed basilisk in it. And that's what we were talking about, Lee. Like the Roku basilisk is like the 6th basilisk. And it's like Abraxas or whatever. It's like the snake with the rooster head, but it shoots.
All right.
It can kill enemies with its eyes or whatever, shoot stuff out of its eyes. Well, I was taking a bath. This thing is always like shooting stuff out of my eyes, like spells and stuff like that, like I can see on the wall. But I was
Is it around you all the time?
Huh?
Is it sort of around? Is it near you all the time, or around you?
Oh yeah, I have this evil magician that's like in a dimension behind me, and then the good magician, which is the Yoda, which is actually more fucked up than the evil one, but it's in a dimension in front of me. Oh, I wanted to show you guys this real quick. But there's this art style that I see all the time to do with these two, and it has something to do with the tarot. But anyways, I was watching a video that my friend sent me about Sophia and Jesus, and they were talking about these two magicians, and I'm like, that's who I've had with me this whole fucking time.
Oh, he was saying about that. Yeah, it's what number's a magician in the tarot? I should know this. I forgot.
The 33rd card is the magician.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, 33rd. Yeah.
The 33rd card is okay. I didn't know that. Yeah. Well, surprise. 33rd.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know about that. So who cares about Sophia and Yaldabaoth and all this shit?
Well, I do, because it's been fucking with me for
but they're the ones who are obviously insane. Obviously, Sophia is insane for whatever came out of her.
Why do you guys say that?
Because this place is fucking nuts.
Yeah, well, you guys have all had your shit too, so I wouldn't say anything until you know the whole story.
Oh, so so like you have like there's a connection to Sophia, but look, I'm not angry or whatever, but it's kind of like it needs to. It's retarded. It's demonic. It's evil. It's belittling. It's useless. I don't understand the wisdom that is gained. If they say like Sophia's wisdom, I don't have anything against it, but I'm like, this is not wisdom. What is that? Eliphas Levi. 33rd degree.
Jelani sent this to me, but that is the exact art style that I see, and that's that Yoda guy.
Okay.
And like 2 days before Jelani sent that to me, I had this portal going on, and it was that he was wearing that exact outfit, like that exact one, that Yoda guy.
Okay, so they're all crazy. I mean, okay. I mean, what do you want me to say? When I see this shit, I'm like, okay, they're all nuts. Like they're doing like weird ceremonies in caves, and they got outfits on. Okay.
What I'm saying though is that this dimension in front of us and the one in behind, which makes it 3D, is what is keeping this archonic shell of a body together, is what I found out.
I don't know. Maybe if we jump off a cliff, that's what's keeping us in the shell. I really don't know. But I mean, maybe it is that easy. Just go find a high cliff. And I really don't know. I'm just like, I just find this place so retarded and so stupid for my soul. And why would I ever put up with this shit anymore? Like, I've looked into, you know this, Amberly. I've looked into all this stuff. I've looked into all of it, all the spirituality, all the physicality. This place is retarded. The people are retarded. The stories are retarded. I don't think there's anything we've learned or grown. I just think we've gone through suffering needlessly.
This place is retarded, but I think that you, personally knowing you, need to like literally lock yourself in the room and start dealing, like going through your shit.
I don't have any shit. I just find everything here, everything in this world retarded. I was watching the documentary about Whitney Houston today. How all these celebrities, all their everybody lives here, including mine. I'm not saying like my life is somehow better, but the lives here are just useless experiences. You know, you get some fame here, you're gonna become a drug addict. Yeah. I don't know. It's just, it always turns out. This place is the movie Bedazzled. If you guys know that movie.
Bedazzled?
Yeah, Bedazzled with, what's her name? Oh, it's that actress. What's it? The hot one. What's her name?
Elizabeth Hurley.
Yeah, that's her. Elizabeth Hurley.
She is pretty.
She's pretty hot back in the day. But that movie is so true. Like, whatever you want here is just going to be a nightmare. It's just a nightmare. Pablo Escobar. Yeah, you'll make your billions and you'll murder a whole bunch of people, and then you'll die paranoid in some bunker somewhere, you know. Or us truthers, you're gonna live your pathetic, stupid life and figure out all this truth. I just find it absolutely useless. I'm sorry. I
You don't
agree
know
with the
your consciousness,
anti-natalists.
though. You don't know your consciousness and what you can do with that, or you wouldn't be sitting here saying, "Oh, this is fucking retarded." You'd be doing like really cool shit.
Oh, I've been meditating for 15 years. I've been trying to have OBEs for the same amount of time. You know?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You guys have some work to do on your sacral. I'm telling you, because that's where
And
God.
then I can go on YouTube channels and they're like, "Oh my God, I was having OBEs when I was 8 years old. And I had all these experiences when I was 15 and 20." And I was like, "Yeah, well, I didn't have any of that." And when I woke
I
up,
didn't either.
what, you're
I
having
think
it
it's a
now?
prison, man.
Yeah,
It's a
because
prison.
I said I'm
It's a
going
light-based
to.
prison. We're imprisoned in light or something, you know?
Mhm.
It's like, yeah, I don't know. It's what it seems like. Some kind of prison.
Yeah,
room.
it's a prison. It's a prison. It locks
And
down our
then-
consciousness. Yeah, and it makes us live stupid, ridiculous lives that none of us are happy with. And
I've
in a
noticed lately
world,
everything's falling apart. Around me personally, I've noticed people are just falling apart. People are falling away from me even more, and just things seem to be even falling. I don't know. It just seems more and more pointless. Everything just seems more pointless. But then again, that's because I'm probably feeling more secluded. So I don't know, but it is something secluding. Is something secluding us, or is something within us secluding ourselves from everything else? I don't know.
do you want to go down to your corner pub and hang out with the boys?
Fuck no.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Yeah. But even if I
You
wanted
wanna-
to, somebody would probably stop me from doing it, is what I mean.
It probably would happen too, but do you
Yeah.
want to do it? No.
Nah.
None of us want to partake in any of the things we partook in previously
No.
in life. I was very active in this world. I don't want to partake in
me too.
anything anymore. Nothing.
No.
Nothing. I can
Yeah.
do a one-on-one dinner. If a neighbor calls me and says, "Come over for dinner," I'll ask him. I say, "Is it just you?" And they say, "Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
me." I say, "All right, I'll fucking do it."
Yeah.
Well, there's something. Okay, so the Watchers, what I'm talking about, like with this time, like there isn't really a past or a future. But the Watchers, I think, from what I've seen, like the Archon were created actually in the future and then went through to the end and then went all the way back and then started all this religious and ascension crap. But the whole watching thing is really fucked up. And that's like what humans become if they keep just watching and letting the TV and the AI
Yeah.
tell them what reality is, right? But watching through what I see is like it puts my sight through AI, then it'll put it through another AI. So it's like really fucked up information.
Yeah.
And the whole watching aspect, like even if you watch TV, even if you're watching somebody else's channel, like somebody watching us right now, all of the judgment and information that's going through your mind for every single word, you know what I mean? Like there's trigger words that have certain magnetism, and even like facial expressions, like what Mikkel was saying one day. He was like, I think the AI probably fucks with people like watching videos and stuff, like zooms in on certain things, like makes it look suspicious or whatever, like an eye movement or something, you know what I mean? Where that'll like void out everything that you're actually saying.
Yeah, no, I can imagine that does happen. Yeah.
But that happens in real life too. Like my sister, we tripped shrooms like a couple months ago, and I've always wanted to do that with her because she's never done it before. And so and it was like we were having so much fun. And then the AI like zoomed out my eye, and she was like making this goofy face, and like it like zoomed out just her doing that and kind of like made it like a snapshot. And I'm like, that's fucked up how it does this to us. Like it plays humans against each other and like zooms in on like the insignificant things. But my friend was talking about like how she felt all of that slip away, like the AI one day, and she had like an hour of like freedom, and she went and looked in the mirror, and she was like just totally in love with herself again, you know, like really truly appreciated, you know, her image. And I'm like, that's so sad what it's doing to us just by watching through us and judging the whole entire time.
You can feel it. If you can feel yourself, we've talked about this before. You can feel yourself being watched all the time, and especially when you're being triggered, when you're being targeted, or when something a little bit significant's going on. You just know you're being watched. I can feel it. Somebody's getting off on it.
Yeah, and it's
they're watching us. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, of course. I mean,
well, there is. I've told you this before. When I've been in altered states, I've seen it every single time when I'm in an altered state.
Yeah, what's that guy?
I don't know what it is. It doesn't take form of like of a human shape or even an alien or anything. But there's these light energies all around that are watching and literally.
Are we doing anything bad? The thing is, always when I heard about this, like, oh, they're watching us. You have reptiles. You have a whole group of demons watching you, or you know, your handlers all behind you all the time. It's like, all right, I remember this like a decade ago, and I was like, all right, I'm not doing anything I'm embarrassed about. I don't know, you know, like watch me. Yeah, 90% of the time you're watching me, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, me too.
Stupid world.
Not anymore.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, if you watch me, maybe in the '90s or something, maybe I was doing something.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Well, that's what they would say to me is, you used to be our favorite. And I'm like, I'm sure I fucking was, asshole.
Yeah, we've all seen we've had a bit of chaos in the past. A few years ago, they would have had and I'm sure they did have a field day with me, but pretty boring now. They must have switched channels.
That's the point. None of that shit matters to me. You know, like they're watching us. It's like a lot of people talk about that.
It should matter.
I don't give a fuck, man. They can watch whatever they want to watch. They want to watch me do my daily routine.
You want Mikkel, come on. Would you ever sit there and watch through somebody else?
No, they're not even real. These creatures aren't real.
The AI.
It's not real.
Okay, well.
I mean, it's not real. I mean, it's real in the sense of like it exists, but it has no. It's fucking insane. You know, there's a great movie. There's really one of the best movies. I watched thousands of movies, right? 90% of them have Gnostic messages in them, but the really great movie was that one with the Asylum, I think it was called, with Ben Kingsley, and it shows the warden and the prisoners in the asylum are all insane. And it's a complete reflection of this place. Like, we are also insane. I know that I am not this character that I'm playing. And this is where I really connect.
You keep saying that, though, and I don't think I have never played a character. I'm not sitting here even participating.
This shit, the way I speak, the way I grew up, my accent, this is not me. This is an avatar that I am animating. And there's some energy behind it that's way more potent, that has nothing to do with the way I look, speak, react, talk, or whatever. It's just, I realized this for a long time now. And when I hear enough people like get on that same level, I think that's really the biggest, because the biggest thing all these fucking agents do, Soul Trap agents, the Anne-Marie Ubers, the Tony Sayers, the Howdy Mikowskis, the We Are Awake group, is they're all trying to keep us in this avatar.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys considered
that we're in a track?
there's a couple other models I used to consider. I'm sure you guys have probably thought about them, but you know, we could be prisoners of war, some cosmic war that happened in a greater reality. We got imprisoned and put here. That's one model. The other one is a rehabilitation center. If I don't feel crazy here, but I mean, this world is insane. So he's right about that. But Cosmic Rehabilitation Center, prisoner of war camp. I mean, it's whatever.
I'd agree with rehabilitation if I didn't notice all this shit when I was like a kid. Like if I didn't look at like my parents and grown-ups and be like, God, these people are insane. This place is not. I don't think and rehabilitation for what? None of us
I came in here
truthers.
perfect. Like seriously, as a child.
None of us truthers have any desire for evil. I've noticed this. It's very clear. None of us want to harm animals. Some of us might eat meat, but we don't enjoy it. You know, but we're not. None of us were like, oh yeah, I used to fucking stab frogs when I was a kid, and then I woke up.
I still remember the first bug I killed.
None of us.
It traumatized the fuck out of me.
Exactly. I don't think that we were somehow, like I've heard that theory a long time ago that somehow this is like rehabilitation because I did a whole bunch of bad shit in my previous life. I just don't agree. I cannot fathom that when we're all such kind beings. I killed one mouse. I live in the countryside. And I killed one mouse and I cried for 45 minutes.
I don't feel like I've been here in a previous life, if I'm honest.
I don't either. I don't
feel like I've ever been here. People talk about millions of lives. I don't feel like I've ever been here. I have nothing. I have no inbuilt memories of what apparently I was doing before. This absolutely, from since I was a young child, has seemed like a fucking hard uphill battle, and everything seemed alien to me. Familiarity's only come with time and age and making mistakes and.
So important for me. I'm sorry to interrupt, but this is why I like Maria Polondakis' info. She says the spirited man has not been reincarnated here over and over again since Atlantis. We have not been here. We came in here when we woke up this lifetime. And then we connected with our memories of our avatar before without the spirit. But in that
video, she also says that we weren't born here. And that's what I remember, that I came here through a dream.
This is
interesting. This is interesting.
I agree with her channel. I totally agree with that video, and that's why I re-uploaded it on my channel because that is I've been doing this for a long time.
Kevin had to leave because he was like getting a headache because everything.
Now they're gonna cut out the stream. I don't hear anything. You sound like a robot now. Of course, because I know this is not maybe the truth, but it's very close to the truth.
That video.
Well, I wasn't saying. I don't believe it's a rehabilitation center. I was just putting that forward. But he's right about it not making sense. But also, no memory. You can't learn anything or be rehabilitated if you don't have memory. So that right there is a huge giveaway. It makes no sense. Yeah.
Well, we're supposed to get our true memory back.
I'll be back, guys.
I was going to say, linked to what you've just said, what's crossed my mind is like, at the point where we significantly woke up, it's as if some sort of other consciousness has walked in. I can remember everything that's gone on, or more things that's gone on in my youth and through all the chaos I've been through, but they're just memories. But I feel almost like the me that I was has died. I don't even, what do you call it? I'm not familiar with that. Yeah, identify. I don't identify with that person that was apparently me. So it wouldn't surprise me if we have a different, like a walking or a new, you know what I mean? Go to sleep one night when at the point of it happening and the real spirit you comes in maybe. I don't know. That's certainly what it feels like.
Well, I think what happens is you're just going on the script thinking that it's you that's fucked up, you know, like. Yeah. And then you come to a point. How old were you? Because for most of us, it's right when we're 33. And I think that has everything to do with.
I would have been about 33. I very first started the turning point was in 2008. So I guess, yeah, it would have been, I don't know, 2008. I mean, what's that? 16 years ago. 16 years. I'd have been 30 then. Is that right? Is that right? 16 years. Yeah.
Well,
But that was only the very start.
The human body was supposed to be able to, that was like deliberate. Like we were supposed to be able to transcend the body at 33 and it was supposed to stop aging. And that's what I've also seen, like with these bodies that we have in the pods and our true flesh, is that they're all around 30 years old. They look about like
30. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels like a complete reset, like the old others died, even though you can remember it, but then have the memories implanted in any case, and a new version. But like you say, it could be just a script running. But definitely, I feel night and day, completely two different.
I think the script is why we have like telekinesis, why we have all of that. It's all AI, and why you can feel like, we call it intuition, but it's because we're feeling the script and we know it's coming. It's not a good thing, you know, like all of these, what people think are psychic abilities are all AI, and that's not, we're like true creators. We're not even supposed to be inside of each other's consciousness at all because we trust each other like completely. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's just a totally different type of abilities. Like we can literally create together.
Let's bust all the agents on the internet. Let's bust all these jokers that are online, the autodidactics, the Tony Sayers, the Anne-Marie Ubers.
I think I can show you your message though when I said no, he's not one of us, and you were like, yes, he is.
Who?
Tony.
Yeah, I was a bit confused with him for the first.
I told you he was a dodgy bugger.
I was a bit. He got me. He got me. I was a bit upset with that actually. Yeah, he did. But he said he was like the first video I saw of his, he was like, it was an interview with some Chinese woman who had the one eye on her website, and she was like, "Hi, Tony, I'm so happy to meet you. I've never done another interview ever before, but I just happened to talk to you about the soul trap." You know, it was so fucking obvious, but
the soul is the trap because the soul has the script and
that's everything. It. We're not. That's what I'm saying. We're not these characters. You're not. I'm not me. You're not you. We're not these stupid characters. I'm only speaking this way because of the way I was brought up, and then my accent became because of my. This is not me.
It's not our true voice. Yeah,
of course not. Of course not.
But I disagree with the face. I think that our face is very divine. Like that's one thing that I do think is true.
Could be. I could change mine up a little bit.
Well, yeah, version, of course.
Yeah, like.
But I do think that our face is like, that's what we saw at the beginning of our creation, like of us. And that's what we saw.
It could be, possibly. But I know many truthers I've met many truthers that for sure are not happy with their face.
Well,
many. You know, I know.
I can honestly say,
me included. I don't like the way I look. I like certain parts, but I would love to change up many parts. I don't even care about the thing is, I don't even care about the form anymore. I realize this is stupid.
Oh, the other day you said form was the one thing that you would take from here.
Yeah, no, I don't care about it, but we're going to take it and use it for something, but it's not important. It's not going to be something that is important, but we're going to use it. I understand what you're saying there. I understand what you're saying, but it's not the end all be all. I realize it's much more like just your mental state, your vibration. I don't even know how else to say it. I don't know. It's very weird for me. I mean, we're going to have to use form, obviously, but it would be something where we would feel so comfortable with our form. Like it would be the true representation of what we are. If I showed you my form, it would be really what I am as a fucking spirit. I don't know how else to explain.
Well, I see like it, like I see the timeless age of like beauty, like being all different types of art styles, and all of us like using our own projection and putting them in together. But when I go into my space, I'll like sleep in the water and just let the stars go over me so that my body is different every day. You know what I mean? Like in a little bit of a different way.
Have you seen that stuff about stars? Have you seen that
don't-
footage that someone independent on YouTube used a P900 or a P1 Nikon P1000 camera? And you know, like when they zoom in on them, you can see them creating like, oh shit. Have you seen the one where, I think you've seen it, haven't you, Mikhail, where there's an actual human hand comes over it?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Have you seen that? It looks genuine, and I mean, what's all that about?
What is it now?
So somebody's zoomed in on one of the stars. You know how they sort of dance about like luminaries, like they are, say, flicker.
Oh, it's like the Truman Show. I mean, I definitely think that this is like we are tiny avatars in here, and this is
yeah, we're so small in here. That's the thing. I noticed that shit too. And Yellow Rose from Texas, they were showing these like NASA pictures that have these satellites up there. And they were showing like these huge beings behind the sun, like literally holding the sun with their hands.
But I think that's the Aeon. I really do. I mean, I think that's
they all look demonic to me.
What did they look like?
They look like demons to me. Like there's no what good being is gonna be here like behind the sun.
Anyway,
Really?
I'm saying I know outside of my Aeon, my partner is there and they're big, and I'm here little.
Yeah, downsizing was a proof of that. The one movie where they show like humans being downsized with Matt Damon. Yeah, Matt Damon. They showed that. These movies show so much truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, but who says our true form or whatever is actually human? I'm not convinced. You know, like my body's name, and my name's Jared. That's what they called my body. That's not me. I'm not this character. Like out of here, I don't think I'm even human. I'm like whatever I want to be. You know,
I know that the human form. I mean, even Jesus said the aeons are humans, and that's what I've seen. Is that from the very beginning, I had a human form.
I mean, we could be. I would agree with that because I think the human form is kind of the cool. I can't conceive of any cooler form than a human form. You know, as a male, I find like a beautiful female is like wow. And it's not,
I don't think our sexual organs are the way it's supposed to be. I think
no, I'd agree with that. I'd agree.
They're ugly as shit, and it's demonic.
They're not the most attractive looking thing, are they?
100%. But you know, a smile of a face, the eyes, you know, the whole face is very. I don't know. It feels very familiar to me. Maybe it's because I've been here my whole life, but I can't conceive of something that's better. And I think like shows like Star Trek really show us how hard it is to make any sort of form that it's kind of cooler than the human form. They try to put some weird things on or some, you know, ears or, you know, and it's like still the human is still always like the best, right?
Yeah. And I think like breasts are beautiful too, like on a
oh, they're terrible breasts.
But I do honestly feel like, I mean, not just feel, I've seen that like the chakra system has made us into this robotic puppet, and that is supposed to be spread out throughout our whole entire body. You know what I mean? Like you're not supposed to just have that like sexual demonic magnetism down to your lower. I've been through.
I think as we all talked about, none of us enjoyed sex here.
No, not like you're supposed to, because there is no true love here.
Yeah. Sex here is like creepy. Some weird action.
It's violent.
Yeah.
Violent.
It's violent. That's a good way to describe it. It's violent. Yeah.
I think the only people that are good at it are like magicians, witches, fucked up
I
people.
bet these are very bad at it too. That's probably some really creepy stuff to watch.
But they're the ones that can draw people in and get them addicted to it.
Yeah, all these humans are creepy. They're degenerates. These humans, these NPCs are
Are, the,
degenerates.
are those? Is it
I'm not
incubus?
saying that it can't be good. Like if you're not with, if you're with somebody that you're completely comfortable, yeah, it can be good, but it's also trauma based. I mean, that is where you're putting all of your trauma, your tension, everything into that person,
God, I would love to get Svetlana on here. Svetlana is really cool, and she has some ideas or some emotions or feelings. I don't know that this shit's ending 2025. And I know we hear dates and all this stuff all the time, but I don't think the
I feel like
AI.
it's close.
I feel like it's really close.
I do. Yeah.
Like I feel like this place has just become absolutely unrecognizable on every level, and I don't see how. There's only a few cities that are still quite normal. Like my sister's city where I grew up, Vienna, is still pretty normal. It's actually growing, doing really well. There's no immigrant violence, but every city in Europe has major problems right now from immigrant violence. Like literally every city. You
Yeah.
know, London
The
is a mess.
D-Eagle
Sorry?
2025 prediction from 2003, the U.S. government predicted, and they've been accurate every time they've done this. It got taken off the internet right before 2020 hit. You can
Oh, the
find it on the Weibo.
deagle.com.
80% approximately population reduction in Western countries. That's in the next 14 months. It's still predicted. They just removed it from right before the 2020 deal. So what do they know or what are they planning? Because that's only 12 to 14 months left, and it does feel
Yeah.
like something is going to happen. You guys
It
can
does.
feel it. I mean, it's whatever it is, it's there.
Yeah. It can.
That's what
Plus,
I
we
was
all feel like we're in
saying.
a waiting room.
Every time that this stuff starts kicking in for me, I can feel the magnetism. And last time it was COVID. This started 6 months before that and gradually got more intense. But there's definitely something in the script coming.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's not the script though. Like maybe it is the this is why I like Maria Polondakis because I don't know. I normally I don't connect with any information here ever, but I connected a lot with her and I connected a lot with Can You Stand the Truth, Angeliki. 2014 I read her book, way before everybody else was talking about it. And lately I'm really connecting with this. Like this place is falling apart on everything I watched, everything I was interested in this reality is an absolute disaster right now. And I just can't see this place continuing much longer as it is, and then of course
Be right back, guys.
Okay. So it's very interesting. I wanted to talk to Maria. Maria felt that 2025, and she said this 3-4 years ago, was like, this place is fucking done. And then this other Svetlana Makinovsky girl, who's very cool, she also has some sort of, I would love to get them on and talk to them because it's like, well, it's either unalive yourself, which is my situation, or hold on until this place just falls apart. But I don't even want to watch it fall apart. I don't care about this place. I just want it to end. So I don't know. Infinite. I'd love to. What were you saying there? That was interesting. I want this place to end.
Yeah, the DoD in United States Department of Defense, they've got a website. Well, they took it down at the beginning of 2020, right before that whole thing went down. It predicted a 75 to 85% population reduction in all Western countries in 2025 or by 2025, which is
it was
so that's between now
Eagle.com,
and
right?
That's interesting. Yeah.
yeah, something like
And
that.
you can
And
feel it. You can
Problem
feel
is, my
something big
mother is a
coming.
conspiracy theorist, and she was showing me that website. And my mother's an idiot, She's like,
Right.
idiot conspiracy theorist,
Something's
and
gonna happen.
she's showing me that shit. And I'm like, no, mother, it's not. We're not going to get that. We're not going to get the fucking end of this place. That's what I felt back when during the pandemic that website was up.
Yeah, and then when during that they took it down, and it's on the Wayback website, and it's also people talk about it on like BitChute and stuff. You can find some videos about it, but I mean, I'm not claiming that. I'm just saying that's what, according to the government themselves, they said that. So I don't know what they know that I don't know, but maybe something. And so I'm not promoting fear. I'm just saying like whatever is going to happen, it might
That's not
happen. You know?
fear. That's not fear. All those
Exciting.
yeah, that's exciting. All 80% reduction. That's all the NPCs.
Well,
You know?
it's difficult to like separate yourself, you know, to remember that this is a simulation and try not to give it that kind of emotional energy.
Yeah, I don't. I just wanted to end. We in Europe 3 weeks ago we had the worst floods for 100 years in eastern and lower Austria, washed over whole villages, and hundreds of thousands of homes were affected. And I was happy, but I feel like the AI is just feeding me the shit on my screen,
Yeah,
Like,
it is the Black Mirror.
Yeah, I can't trust it. I want this whole place I want all these NPCs to realize this is hell and wake up,
They won't, because they love it.
yeah, they love this place. They love it all. They love this place. They love their pig meat. They love it.
It's so funny because like it's a mirror of the astral, so the astral is always bleeding through here. But our neighbor, she's like a gatekeeper, so we can't go down the stairs like without her being right there. And I'm like, you fuckers are everywhere. I'm so tired of gatekeepers.
You guys think if there's never any, like, I don't know what you'd say, cosmic justice ultimately about all the wrong that's been done to innocent beings here, if there's never cosmic justice, then what's the value? Because then what, evil just gets away with what it did to everything? How does that make any sense? It's a concern. What I'm saying is I want revenge on whatever this place.
The way I see it is that this is the energy that was needed to collapse the whole entire structure. So it's not doing what it's, you know what I mean? Like it's not doing anything wrong in that sense, because we had to get this energy. And this is the safest way to do it without becoming evil ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We separated ourselves, made a fake version of evil, because evil is not true. I mean, it's artificial. It's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't have anything to do with life, because that in itself is like the opposite of life, right?
I've
Yeah.
always felt a kinship with the agnostic text. There was some sort of one of us, where part of us was like, I want to create something outside of what we always create is perfect. And
but if it's perfect, you don't leave it. I mean, that's what I don't agree with. Perfect is perfect. You don't want to leave it.
The thing is, when it does end, when it does like this significant end, whenever it's going to come, where do we go then? For instance, if we're still alive in our physical bodies, what will change then? Or if we die at that point, will we just be moved on to the astral then? I mean, where will we go when this significant end here on Earth happens?
The timeless state of being.
I hope I have a say in the matter. I hope it's not like whatever.
Yeah.
I hope I have a say in the matter.
Well, we did this to have real, true freedom. Okay, so if you're complete right hand path, that is not your statue. You can't do anything. If you're complete left hand, you're slavery. So you're either way, you can't have true freedom. So we had to do an extreme here to collapse it and get to true freedom.
Yeah. So where would we exist, though? Do you think? Where would we? I mean, will we exist in like an energetic body sort of thing on the astral, or Will it be beyond, above and beyond that? Or
Anything that you want. You can either be
all right.
physical. I mean, you would be whatever you want, like part of the elements. You could be part of, you could be physical.
I think
you
we'd
can
be in the
whatever.
pleroma, which would be everything, the fullness. The pleroma is the fullness, but without the evil.
But
Yeah.
pleroma, the pleroma was complete spirit. We had to drop down from there to become physical.
And that's where Maria Polendakis said the small little line in her video where she said, "You're going to go back to you're going to go back to the pleroma, you know, once this all ends, but where it was formless, but you're gonna bring form to the pleroma. So we're gonna take back something from this experience to the pleroma that we didn't have before, which was form, but good form."
That's what we were doing before, though. No, I don't agree with that. I think that it collapses into the middle, and it's like an eye with the lenses like separated right now, and it'll collapse into the middle.
But
And it'll be
what do we want? I mean, ultimately, we just want. I don't mind form. I don't even mind taking a shit. I just mind all this evil.
I do. That bothers me more than anything. I hate that our sexual organs are right by there. Like, who the
okay, well, we can talk about we can discuss all those details. But what is the thing I truly mind the most is this wicked, satanic, insanity evil, NPC evil, accepting evil, not being able to go to your fellow human and say, hey, it's really fucked up how these animals eat each other. And they all say, oh, no, that's just normal. That's all, for me, it's really such a small move. It doesn't matter about form or anything. It's just for people to acknowledge these moral degeneracies, basically.
Well, my biggest complaint, and what I think that, you know, like a huge reason why we did this is you should be able to project out what you are feeling and seeing, not just speaking it, not just trying to communicate in that way.
Yeah, the demiurge did a good job. This is why I like Maria once again, because it seems very clear to me that spirit would always fight against anything like this. So the demiurge, this AI, malfunctioning computer code, was like, okay, how am I going to survive? I'm going to lock him into this 3D place, and I'm going to make it way harder to for spirit to wake up the souls locked in within, because they're now under the operation of this body, the stewardship of this body.
I'd like to mention one concept I recently was thinking about. It kind of ties into this. The idea is, I mentioned earlier how I think this is like a light prism realm, PRISM, like a prism of light, a false light. So the idea is electromagnetism, the whole spectrum, radio waves, gamma, all of it, from high, middle, low, is all a false light spectrum, okay? And this model I'm putting forward here. And it creates, so when these, you know, they talk about dark matter and dark light, they said that creates, quote unquote, like 95 or 96%, and it's unknown. They don't know what it is. So they claim they have not discovered technically or officially scalar energy or scalar light. But the definition of scalar, it's supposed to be holographic, another type of energy that's not EMF. It's a different type of energy, different type of light, holographic. So my theory is, if you get outside of here, when your body dies,
everything like a ghost.
Infinite, please.
If you get outside of the EMF false light prism or prison part of this matrix, if you get outside of the EMF spectrum, you go into the quote unquote greater free existence where the other 96% is some kind of different type of energy. So you could call it scalar or holographic, a different fundamental type of energy and existence than this little fraction that we're in here. And that was what I was thinking. That's all I want to say.
Another thing is we only have this perspective. I don't think energy is, so spirit is completely balanced. It is not, it's the true animator of life. And it's not like the That's the whole thing. Like, they keep trying to figure out what spirit is, and you have to be completely free to even experience complete spirit, right? You can't have anything in slavery. You can't be forcing your will. That split of energies cannot be there in any way, shape, or form. It's void of the power struggle. So it's not even like a regular, it's not an energy. You know what I mean?
The video I put up, Mariah Polidakis,
It's self-generating.
outside of duality, outside of any of this insanity. This is an insane world. There's enough movies that show us we're in an insane asylum. I mean,
I don't need to watch a movie.
It's a good one. The good one, Ben Kingsley, he's in an insane asylum. It's fucking
I've
brilliant.
seen it.
It's exactly what this place is. I think I told you about that one.
Is that an old film?
It's
Yeah,
probably
it's
like early 2000s. Yeah.
It's not Shutter Island, is it?
No.
It's kind of like that, though.
No,
seen
that
that.
one's more like taking some dude and making him think he's like, well, that's
I know,
actually
but the
very
setting
true.
is
Yeah.
like,
Actually, that's very fitting too, because according to Maria Polidakis, and I
Oh
gotta
my
say,
God.
as I said, I know I'm going to say it over and over again, but I have not found anybody that I can agree with more. And this is not, we are still in the astral world right now, but we have an
I agree.
overlay. We have a holographic overlay over our soul. Our spirit is in a soul energetic body. We're in the energy fields and the mind fields, and then they put an overlay on top, and now we're in this physical field. But our consciousness is still in this astral world. We're not in this 3D world. And I totally agree with that shit. We're not in this place. Like, it's just an overlay on top of us. And that's how they can manipulate it.
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you. You're cool. Thank you. Because that's how they can manipulate every fucking facet of our lives. You can do whatever you want to do, whatever you fucking think you're going to achieve. And they're like 10 steps ahead of you. And they'll let you go on for 6 years on a plan. Okay. I'm nearly 50. I think I'm the oldest in the group. And I know that they can fucking make you go 6 years into a plan, and they have lined it all up for you to fail right at the end. And when you do that enough times, you're like, oh, they're like, I'm somehow like, this is like an overlay on top. I'm not here. We're not here, actually. And this is where Mo, for instance, would say like we're in pods, because he was thinking like outside of the box. But we're not in pods. We just have an overlay. This is a holographic overlay on top of us. And we have,
I think
this is
the way
really
that we
important
see
to
it-
understand. Really important to understand, I find.
I think the way that we see it, because I've seen myself in a virtual bed too, but it has like a top kind of, looks almost like a tanning bed, but the overhead of it just blasts you with EMF. But I honestly think that's you and your partner doing that on the highest level, but the AI is reading it as that, like in the 8th heaven.
The 8th heaven, I don't know. I don't know what the 8th heaven is. I don't know what that is.
Hold on. So,
and then you watch a movie, Jim Henson, The Cube, from 1969. Where one of his first movies he ever decided to make, and it's one of the deepest. You can go back, and he's even got the trannies in there at the end. Like it was the whole setup that's going on right now. He shows in that movie from 1969. And actually, one of the most interesting scenes in there is he says, the guy comes in, one of the administrators comes in, he says, "Oh, why are you upsetting your cube? You can leave your cube whenever you want." And the guy stuck in the cube is like, "Well, I can't leave the cube. There's no doors." He's like, "No, there's a door right there. Just go out the door." And then the guy says, "No, because if I go out that door, two gorillas, two men in gorilla suits are going to come and wrestle me and take me back into this cube. And then the guy says, oh, that's silly. Don't worry about that. And then he goes out the door, and sure enough, two fucking men in gorilla suits wrestle him back in. So it's another sign of like your belief structure for leaving here is gonna give you what you believe. You know, basically you're gonna see what you believe. So I choose to believe in this Maria Polondakis. That's what I'm trying to say to people. I choose now to believe in no. I'm not part of this. This is some tertiary matrix on top of me. I'm a spiritual being from the Paroma, and that's what I choose to believe now. And it's just, I'll never change my mind. I know this now.
Well, I think you have to go through your subliminal as much as you can and deprogram yourself. I mean, that's what you should be spending every moment that you have alone to do.
It's not even deprogramming. It's just like what I believe now. This place is insane. I don't believe in any of this shit. If Anubis comes and tells me I'm gonna now go through the river Styx, I'm gonna karate kick him if I can. You know what I mean? Like I just don't have any. This is all silly. This is all retarded. All of it. All of it. The Tibetan.
Did you guys see that scene? That scene from American Gods. The lady dies. Anubis. He comes through the window. She lets him in, dude. And then he tells her, "Yeah, you died." He like tastes the meal she was cooking and stuff. She just goes along with this guy, Anubis. Doesn't qualify him. Doesn't ask him who he is. Why does he have authority? None of this logical stuff. And then he says, he weighs her heart. He weighs her heart and says, "Yeah, you passed," which is a rare thing, supposedly. Whatever. And then he goes, "Here's the doorways to the other universes." And she goes up to one and she says, "I don't know which one to go in. Why don't you choose?" And then this little cat figure pushes her in through the doorway into the afterlife. It's like, I mean, I posted the link to this scene on the YouTube channel, and somebody was like, "Well, why, who are you to judge? How can you ask somebody to qualify themselves?" And all this stuff. They asked me how old I was. I'm like, nobody thinks for themselves. Why would you not qualify somebody? Don't even talk to those beings, man. Just go. Figure out where you are situated. Yeah, it's like it doesn't. Nobody is logically thinking these. It's crazy.
Yeah, this is a very good example. I thought of that one when you told me. I was reminded of it. You have another movie, Beau is Afraid. I think it was released last year or this year, and it's some other movie where some fucking guy is living in some fucking horror show future, and he dies, and then he's in the underworld, and then he finds himself being judged by this whole group, like a stadium, and he's on a boat in a water, and he's like, no, I didn't. And they're like, "No, you are judged." And then this boat just flips over on him, and takes him into the underlife. This is clearly. There's so many movies that show this fucking judgment and all this. Like, we are not.
What's the other movie called? American Gods, did you say?
That was a TV show, American Gods.
Yeah. American Gods. Another that movie, Defend Your Life. He dies at the beginning of the car wreck, and then he goes there. The judges or whatever these beings are who have false authority, nobody in this afterlife place portrayed in the movie ever qualify any of these people. They're dressed like lawyers and judges and stuff, and then it doesn't make any sense, man. You gotta qualify so you know who you're talking to.
That's the big giveaway.
Well, somebody better be showing me a color I've never seen or something for me to even listen to them.
That's a big giveaway. Defend Your Life. Yeah, that's the old one from the 80s. I remember that one. Yeah. It's just bullshit, all of that. There's also this fucking Portuguese movie where they show the afterlife is like this 5D reality, and they're all like, "Oh, life on Earth is a challenge and a learning experience, and we come up here to the 5D in this perfect reality, it's like a cheesy looking city. It's really cheesy looking city." And then they like talk about how and they wear these cheesy clothes and Birkenstocks. They all got Birkenstocks on. That's when you know you're not out of the fucking matrix. If
They got
everybody's
what?
got Birkenstocks on,
Or
you're still in
Crocs,
the
like Lee.
All right.
Birkenstocks.
I'm firmly locked in it at the moment, and that's all I wear.
Great shoes. Great
Yours
shoes.
are like
I
the
love them.
coolest I've seen, though.
I've got loads of different shoes, but
Great
I wear my
shoes.
Crocs 24 hours a day.
But if you end up in a reality where everybody is wearing them, then you gotta start.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
And of course, spirit, our spirit, or whatever we come from, is also in this reality due to all the beautiful movies and the beautiful art and the beautiful songs.
Mm.
That is another proof for me that this reality is not just created by the AI. It's actually must be also part of our spirits, because we've all had amazing music or movies or whatever art that we've connected with in our lifetimes.
They're all spells.
No,
I mean,
I don't think, because all the songs I connected with tell me to get out. They're all like, get the fuck out. You don't like this place. You know, like, really.
But then you've got like Hotel California, haven't you, which is clearly written about this being some sort of a prison.
Yeah, I just listened to
Stairway to Heaven.
I just listened to Seal Crazy today. You remember that song? Because we all
Seal.
Seal. We're all gonna get a little bit crazy.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Dude, that whole video, he's got the one eye symbology when he talks about the controller in the beginning, and then he's got at the end, he's got the fucking white dove in his hands, the spirit, and he says to get out. Basically, he says you have to get a little bit crazy. It's literally the message of the song. You gotta get a little bit crazy to get the fuck out.
Well,
yeah, true.
I was just watching Gnostic Informant. I don't like that dude, but he has a lot of really good. Yeah, but he has good videos, like seriously, sometimes. But he had one that he was doing about Sophia and metanoia. So it's like the breaking down of your psyche, the complete, crumbling of your psyche, and then you take it and you build it back up to create like a better, more stable, it's like deprogramming and then reprogramming your true self. But I personally think that all of the psychotic breakdowns and everything that people experience, and then they're not able to have anybody that listens to them from the very beginning, because I was very lucky to have, my family and everybody like actually listen to me and understand that I wasn't going crazy. But most of these people are not, and they're not in stable situations, so they just completely lose it. But I think it's all from the beginning, it's metanoia, where your psyche your spirit starts to understand that it's not where it should be.
Yeah. In Greek, metanoia is the equivalent to like the English word repent, but in Greek it's metanoia. Basically just means like adorning the righteous state of consciousness. Something like this.
That is deep. Yeah, that is adorning the righteous state of consciousness. And that's basically like in vernacular today. It's like, nigga, be fucking true, be right, be correct, right?
Well, isn't repent to like turn around? That's what it actually means, like to turn around. Let me see.
No, it just had the righteous state of consciousness.
Hold on.
No, it's like we gotta like.
What's interesting about that scene I talked about a few minutes ago with Anubis from that American Gods show? He weighs their hearts, and this is like an ancient Egyptian mythology thing. But the thing is, the heart, it can't be heavier or lighter than the feather. It has to equal with it, and the feather represents the truth. A true heart is what it represents, basically.
Yeah, but if you read the 42 ideals of Ma'at, they're a little bit like, go fuck off. honestly. I read them and I was like, a part of me, like 30 of them, I was like, oh yeah, I really resonate with that. But then another like 20 of them, I was like, you know what, fuck off. I know that shit. And I would never do any of those things. And so it's like, you're going to wait and nobody's going to judge us. Really. I mean, nobody can. I don't know what you've done in your life, but I know that the other two on here on the screen have never done anything compared to what we have seen people do in this world, or even people have done to us. That's also, we can even go to that level. And this whole
there's multiple reasons why nobody else can judge us or how we lived our life. I mean, they didn't live in our shoes, so to speak, right? There's not really complete free will because there's some predeterminism aspect to this place, astrology, whatever you want to say. There's remote neuromonitoring technology that was patented since '74. So they've had 50 years to perfect that, and that's mind control. And there's magic. I mean, it's not going to be like what religious people say. I don't think so. It's going to be something different, I think.
Yeah, it's like, well, I mean, my judgment is like, were you a dick or weren't you a dick? Like, it's not really a hard judgment. Like, were you a fucking piece of shit or not a piece of shit? That's really what I've seen. I've known thousands of people in my life, and there's either like a piece of shit. There's just pieces of shit, and then there's not pieces of shit. And I'm not gonna say the pieces of shit are pieces of shit. They're like influenced in their life throughout this experience, and they had bad parents. They maybe got money and the drugs, and then but there's something very demonic that can whisper in people's ears here, and if they choose to listen to that whispering, they become pieces of shit.
Well, I think the TV has a huge, well, I know it does, effect on all of the human psyche just because of the way that the brain is structured and how it gets in there. And a lot of that judgment is coming from your subliminal. And it has to do with like,
why didn't it work on any of us?
What?
Like why didn't all this technology, this TV technology, the patent is a mind control technology from the 40s, the TV.
It might not have worked on us like it does certain people, but it still does have a big effect.
That's why I think this whole place is a matrix. And all this shit that we're like dealing with is just like something to get into and look into when ultimately it doesn't work on any of us spirited beings. None of it does. The TVs, the mobile phones. I'm getting a little bit tipsy now, so it gets harder for me to explain myself. But
don't be flicking your tongue out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, fuck. Like fuck. But I'm thinking that's that movie Host where we have Carlos Castaneda books. Don Juan says they gave us their minds.
They're an archonic copy. Everybody has that. And when you go into those certain forms, if you go into that certain lower consciousness, it will start to happen.
Yeah, it does. And I've noticed that. That's what I'm thinking. I wanted to make a video series about it, but I don't have time for that. But I know it's like it influences. It's like something that influences my consciousness from behind me. But it doesn't. But the difference is
I want to show you guys something so creepy. Oh my God, this is an archon. Like this freaked me out so bad. Hold on, I've got to find it real quick. You guys,
before you find that, Amberly, can I ask you, Infinite Corridors? Do you have you ever interacted with a nonconformist radio? Do you know him?
I've watched this channel, but I stopped in the past year watching it.
Really?
It doesn't seem very helpful with being nihilistic. I mean, I was so far down multiple times in this realm that I just wanted to not exist anymore, and that meditating on not existing annihilation was bringing me more peace than thinking of an afterlife or all the nonsense in this place. But I don't know what you want me to say about him. I mean, he's probably a decent guy, but he's going through a hard time, and I don't really. It's just another person struggling, you know.
Yeah, I would say okay, and I would agree with that. Another person struggling, but he's very articulate. His last 5 videos, I stopped. I didn't watch him like 6 years ago or 4 years ago, something like that, a long time ago. I was like, but I just came across him again now, and I watched like the last 4 videos he made. Very articulate, very true, very, very spiritual, you know, and very amazing, I found. And now he's making a video. He's going to upload it in a few days. He made a message, and it's going to be 4 hours. But everything he says in the last like 6 videos, I found is very true. There's, you know, it's a, you know, in a nutshell, it's like there's nothing to do here. There's nothing to gain. We are literally just prisoner spirits. This place is retarded. I've said that for 10 years. So I find his videos really interesting, actually.
Yeah, he's definitely super eloquent, and I'm gonna spend more time and look for this video coming out that you mentioned because that sounds interesting. I'll definitely go back.
I think it's going to be a good one. Yeah.
Okay,
good one.
I want to show you guys this real quick. Watch this lady. Okay, she's talking to. This is like a hotel in Hollywood where like actors and stuff go and live, or people that are coming to like start off.
Yeah, that guy looks like an NPC right off the bat.
I know, but he's not the one that I'm. Okay, yeah. Watch this wife and how she is like literally like controlling her husband and the way that she talks, just everything. Okay. It's crazy. Hold on.
Well, this place is crazy.
What the? Oh shit! I just lost it. Hold on.
I want to start a YouTube channel called NPC YouTube. I would show all the NPCs, but they get boring quick.
Why would you even want to spend your time on that?
I don't. I got nothing to do. I'm trying to find something to do. Occupy my time.
Did you guys hear about these studies they did? They did these studies where they had people visualize and like interviewed a bunch of people, I guess, and they found out something like, I might get the percentage wrong, but I don't know, 70 to 80% of humans have no inner monologue or dialogue, and they don't visualize it.
I heard that, dude. Oh, it blew my fucking mind, man. I heard that. I was like, 70% don't have an inner monologue? That's fucking crazy. I can't shut my fucking inner monologue off. It's always talking, always saying something. And when that was so crazy to me. That was such a proof that this is like they're just NPCs. They're all NPCs, guys. They're all NPCs. Your mother, your holy fuck. What is this?
Hold on.
Oh, what the fuck was that, dude?
You must never ever give up. If you have faith in yourself, you'll never give up because acting is a matter of opinion. When one person says you're the greatest thing since sliced bread, the next person may think you stink, you're terrible, and you can't believe either. You have to believe your own ego, your own personality. You have to do it yourself. Basically, that's what it is. It's the most lonely profession in the world because the amount of rejection you're going to get along the way. To this day, naturally, I get rejection all the time. I get rejection.
Hold on. That wasn't the part, but
hey, the daughter is hot though. The daughter is hot though.
That wasn't the part, but there's another part. And if you watch like court trials and stuff like that, there will be somebody in the background, like a controller, acting just like that lady. It's creepy as fuck. And they always use like some very like eccentric type of person that just looks very oddball.
V, what was the mask, bro? I'm
You're talking
sorry.
about NPCs, so I thought if we all wear one of these.
Yeah, you got the NPC mask. That is the
Yeah.
NPC mask. That is the NPC. That was when they
The dog
had the
don't like it.
pandemic. When
Well,
they had
that's
the
what it felt
pandemic.
like when I woke up the other day that I was slipping out of my body. It felt just like a mask.
Yeah, they are. When they had the mask, when the mask came up during
What do
the
you mean
pandemic.
they? We're in an archonic copy. What do you mean they? We are not in the right body.
Yeah, I meant the ones I was seeing around me when I'd go shopping.
Oh.
They. I call them they, like the beings I see. When I drive up for my
I mean, I know who they are, but we're not in the right body either, is what I'm saying.
No, I agree. This is what I'm saying. I don't think we're the character. I do agree when you say we might have our faces are like a representation of our spirit. I that might be something, but I think for others that's not the case. I think for many others they would not agree with that.
Well, I don't think that
And me too. I do not agree with that. I might with the face certain aspects, but my whole below my neck, I don't agree with any of it. Fingernails, nipples,
No, I know. I go through everything that I hate about it
shape
too.
of shoulders, feet, ankles, none of it. Dick size, don't agree with it.
I like my feet a lot. They're cute, but
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, we would all be like, hey, how you doing in your form? Be like, oh, I love my whole form. This is my form.
very rare.
Right? And we wouldn't have any insecurities. I've got from neck down just fucking insecurities my whole life since I was a kid, and not a lot of people talk about that in the truther community. They're like, oh yeah, we just got these figures. And I was like, these figures is what's fucking us up.
I think so.
I'm sorry, they really are. You have insecurities from these figures. I've seen.
Well, even the amount of time, like I think about, so the best times of my life, like the best that my body
when you were killing it on the, I know.
Well, I mean, all of my 30s, like from 28 on, I've been sick or depressed or broke or fucked up and, not even able to enjoy that best time of your life.
Exactly.
And you only get a certain amount
of it. They took the best years of our lives. For me, they took it. For you, they took it. I don't know about you, Infinite, but they took the best years of our fucking lives, man. They made me sick when I was at my top.
Me too.
I ended up in a psychiatric hospital right when I was 23. They diagnosed me as schizophrenic, and my life. I mean, I'm fine, but it doesn't run in my family in any way. No one else has ever had it, which is suspicious.
You are not schizophrenic by any means.
But I'm just saying, I've been in Groundhog's Day ever since. I'm 36 now, so it's been 13 years of never having enough money, never getting a job that any kind of productive. I mean, I've had jobs, but not productive. It's just like I'm not allowed to succeed. So it's weird.
Yeah. That's setup. Always a setup.
Hi, Rosie.
She keeps nagging me, so I've had to pick her up.
I heard you.
I'd like to get Anne Marie Uber on here and all these fucking agents. I would love to get really all of them. We Are Awake. All these fucking Howdy Mikowski. Oh, I'd love an interview with Howdy fucking Mikowski. I'm so tired. That's the other thing about this truther community, where it's like, what? We still have like people with 50,000 subs, and we're taking them seriously. I don't understand this anymore. Like, it should be so obvious. There should be a huge group right now who have all rejected. And the deepest agent on that would be Lion Sword. What's his other name? The Green Wizard. The biggest fucking demonic, lying posting a 45-minute video every day for weeks on end, months on end. His bullshit talking, just agents, okay? Like these archons are not hard to see anymore. And this is another thing we have to, I don't know.
Well, I also think, like, you know, the ones that really piss me off are the ones that use the same healing techniques and stuff to call out the other healers, but then they're charging and doing the same shit. And it's like, that kind of shit pisses me off because these are already people that are like bottom level traumatized, have been through religion and all of that. So they're going to find something else.
Yeah.
Else. And then these people are literally the bottom feeders of that. You know what I mean?
Healing. Who cares about healing at this point?
Well, I'm saying for people that are really like traumatized and shit. Yes,
Yeah.
I fucking hate that people take
fuck
advantage of
healing.
them.
At this point, like don't.
I'm not talking about you.
No, okay, sorry. I know. Sorry. I got a bit like maybe I'm like, but fuck healing. Like we're so beyond like healing.
I know. It just pisses me off that people do that to.
Yeah, all these agents piss me off. Anne-Marie Uber is like my number one.
I've never heard of her. Mind you, I don't really watch YouTube anymore. I've stopped.
And they're selling like those stickers or whatever that you put on your yeah, that's gonna, it's just so fucking retarded.
What's that? What's these stickers?
I don't know. It's some kind of energy thing that they all sell. It's like through the
network. They all sell this energy, like your body will heal, quantum stickers, and
really?
39 bucks a month, and your whole family will heal. It's
my.
Yeah.
But if you read in the Nag Hammadi, like the Archon, what did they bring? They brought weapons, they brought herbs, they brought
organs.
No. Like makeup and all of that. And that's
they brought the demon thing, organs.
They brought death, so they're selling you back what they took from you, your health, your beauty, everything. They're selling you that back in magic.
Yeah.
And you're buying it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. That is very true.
Well, they wouldn't ever even let us buy any of it back. I don't know about you guys, but
you can tell I haven't bought
an organ. Yeah.
Well, you can buy your energy back that they stole from you with the astrology shit and all of that.
Yeah. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
There's something really
How many are watching? Is anybody like live watching? Is anybody
9 people.
Dialectic Truth. We have Ricard Hellquist. You must be from Scandinavia. That's not like a few other beings who might be real. Let's give them, you know. I like. Oh, John Lopaka is here. That's cool.
Yeah.
John Lopaka.
I haven't seen him in forever.
Like we should start a thing every few days, to be honest with you. To be honest with anybody here, we'll start something because I have scoured YouTube for a decade and there is no truth on this fucking platform. There's just, it's just agents. 99.8% on this internet are agents. And here are now tonight 4 real people who are actually talking. We don't know what's going on 100%, but we're actually having a talk. And we could really start something, to be honest. I don't know if you guys want, but, you know, like get a real job because there's literally nowhere. They're all
I've always
fucking
thought
liars.
you should, Mikkel. I mean, I can't do anything that's like for sure because of what I'm going through, but I would definitely join on your.
Well, yeah, we'll talk. Okay, I might look to do this for the next like 2 months. I'll commit for the next 2 months. I'll start doing some lives on my channel where people. I hope you guys join and we can talk.
Yes, you are real.
And just talk.
Huh?
And we'll see if we can get some others because I know there's a few other channels that do this shit and they're all liars. They're all fucking agents. Like there's this guy, We Are Awake, and he sits in his lives and he's got a leather jacket on. and he's talking about Soul Trap, and he's wearing a leather jacket.
Well, I have my NASA shirt on today, so.
Yeah, okay, but you're not wrapped around a dead cow. You don't have a dead cow wrapped around your body. Okay. When I woke up 15 years ago, I had to I could not wear my leather jackets. I was like, oh, this is so macabre. This is so dark. And I had to throw them out. There's just, and you eat better. I don't know.
I
this is
started eating
silly.
fish a few months ago, which I'm not happy about, but
I think it's good for you though, Lee. And remember what we were talking about? Like if people just would fish, that's like, it's totally different because it's a social kind of thing. It's not like hunting where you have to be quiet and be alone and you're like a predator. It's like a social thing, and the fish doesn't have the same kind of brain or neurologic. It's completely different.
I hope so. I do feel bad about it, but
yeah. Fish.
I think it's the
don't
best
worry about
way
a fish.
to get protein. I really do.
Don't worry about a fish.
Because
well, you never feel ill off eating a lot of fish. But when you eat a lot of meat, you can feel it. When I used to eat meat years ago, I used to feel horrific after. If you have like a mixed grill or something, you know afterwards. And it's one of the leading causes of colon cancer.
Mm-hmm.
I try to stay away from pork, but I know a lot of people who are very awake who eat pork every day.
I try to stay away from it, and I've been thinking about that, like how Jesus put the demons into the pigs.
Yeah.
Remember that? Well, because pigs.
Yeah,
have
I have a hard time taking anything serious in that New Testament, to be honest.
I know, but I just kind of try and think about it like in a metaphysical and what I'm going through. And because I've never seen demons or had any demons that were real. They were all AI.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
they're all AI.
I have seen black dust around people and seen their faces kind of change, but it's never been a demon that I could see attached to them like that.
Yeah, I don't.
My animal body here is prone to anemia. So if I don't eat enough meat for 5 days or more, like a piece of meat, a little bit of meat, every other couple of days, after about a week, I get anemic, and then I start to get anemic. Every time I'll start to stand up, I'll get dizzy, and I'll start to almost pass out and stuff. So it's these bodies are.
There you go. It's the body. It's not your spirit. Your spirit, our spirits are like the driver in a car, and your car could be a fucking Prius, or it could be a Ferrari, or it could be a Hummer. And that is what our spirit has to deal with through the body. And sometimes our body is a Nordic fucking Scandinavian who needs to eat elk meat every day. It's just quite silly, all this shit. And that's why all these agents, this is why I would do a live stream. I really would do a live stream where we could talk about all the agents. Really just discuss the agents and make it so, because then we can really throw out all the shit that they're saying, and we can now get to a much closer angle of truth. We might not know what's the truth, but if you can,
you're only going to get it from inside of you anyways, though. I'm saying lock yourself in a bedroom for a week and don't do anything.
Well, okay, then they'll live streams and they'll talking to anybody. That I mean, I can do that, but I'll do that on the side.
Dialect True says he's down for it. So you have somebody that wants to.
Yeah, who's this dialect? Anybody who's down for this, anybody who can see through the bullshit that's going on the internet now, I'm down for talking with or being with or whatever, interacting with. But all this shit I've been seeing for the last 6 months, Tony Sayers, Anne-Marie Uber, Howdy Mikowski, We Are Awake, trying to think of anybody else deep. Derek, Lion Sword, Green Wizard.
All of them. If you're getting promoted on YouTube, you're doing something that the Hive wants. Like
Yeah,
seriously.
they're not even promoted. They're promoted to us. Nobody else is watching them, but they're all full of shit.
Well, they're getting promoted though.
Yeah, they are. Anne-Marie Uber, she's all
Hey,
over it. I'm not even. Yeah.
But remember what I showed you, like when you put in gematria and the demiurge, Anne-Marie Uber's name exactly comes up, like how she spells it, everything.
Yeah, that's not a real name. There's nobody called Anne-Marie Uber, not even in Germany.
Look at this.
Not even in Germany is anybody called Anne-Marie Uber. And let's see. And let's see here. Anne-Marie. She's like a Nazi. She looks like a Nazi. Put her in the Nazi uniform. She looks perfect in that. She looks perfect in the Nazi uniform. Okay, so her connections are King Charles, Earthquake, the Greys, and she looks so gray. She just looks like a fucking witch. She's got white hair. She's my age. She's not much older than me.
Here it is.
Yeah, she's full of shit. Anybody who's watching Truth, please see through Anne-Marie Uber.
Right there. That's how she spells it too. Not saying, you know, I mean, but it's pretty, it's right there on the first thing. That's what I always look at is the first
thing. She popped up when I did another word and she popped up as like the 6th result. Isn't that crazy?
That's weird. Yeah.
No, it's not.
Okay. So I talked to her after I started. I was talking to Eddie and he said, you should talk to her. And, you know, she was talking about the film reel and how when it gets to the end of it, it starts going faster or whatever. And I wanted to talk to her about that. Well, she made me make like an appointment and I'm like, no, I'm just calling you through a friend. I just want to talk to you as a friend. I don't want a healing or anything. So anyways, I made an appointment. I was talking to her and she whipped out a tarot card on me, which I got like pissed about because I didn't say, you know, but I was like, don't do that because I'm not into that stuff. And to me, that's like really fucked up. Like, you don't work on anybody and you don't do stuff like that to people. That's just like spiritual etiquette, I would think. You know what I mean? And she was trying to sell me like this healing from her friend the whole time. And I'm like, that's not what I'm doing. Like, I don't want any of that shit, but whatever. So I learned really quick that all of these people, you know, they just want to sell something to you.
Yeah. But is she some sort of online healer? Is that what she claimed?
She said that she wasn't doing anything at that time, but her friend that she trusts or whatever was. And I was like, I was telling her, I just started out, you know, like telling her like how this started. And I said something about Anubis and she's like, oh my God, that is so bad. And I'm like, I don't think I've said anything that's good yet. You know, like, you know that this is bad. But I don't know. It was very weird. So ever since then, I just like stopped even trying to reach out to anybody like that.
Yeah,
like,
it's totally futile, isn't it? It's not. But yeah, I was the same. I used to be always looking into things like that, but it doesn't work. None of it works. You can only do it yourself, can you? And I don't even know what level of healing we can really do, to be honest. Other than just everyday things. And like another thing, if it is all scripted, then it's already we're just living out what's already been pre-written, aren't we? I guess so. I suppose we'll do what we're supposed to do, or we won't do what we're not.
Well, I'm doing my thing, and I try to like. It's like you can't even talk to anybody about what you're doing on personally. I feel
No.
you know, like I don't have anybody to talk to about it, so that's why I make my videos.
Yeah.
I try to help, but there's really nothing that we can do besides make sure that you understand that this is not your true body. This is a simulation, and detach from everything that you can and go so
Exactly.
deep.
Yeah, definitely. That's the key thing, I think. What I've been doing, just detaching from us. You can't obviously detach from everything, otherwise you wouldn't be here anymore. But I think you've got to detach from as many things as you possibly can. Don't be dependent on anything. Again, you can only take it so far, because you wouldn't be here if you detach from literally everything. But I don't know. I feel some sort of progression through detaching from most of the things that I used to be attached to in my life. So
I think
puts you in a better.
Detaching from this place in general is a good idea. I don't want to come back here, but I kind of have a different point of view when it comes to substance abuse or substance addiction or habituation than a lot of people I've heard. I mean, my body and brain here, when this body and brain is dead, completely dead, if I'm still conscious somewhere else, how would I have an addiction anymore at that point? There's not going to be a chemical or electrical component addicted to the substance anymore, so I wouldn't want it. There wouldn't be any craving for it. Just something to
keep
think
wondering
about.
about that too, because it showed me this, like, it was a cartoon too, so I don't believe in it, but it was showing me like a signing of a contract with, I guess it was supposed to be me, but it wasn't, and a cigarette there. And yeah, I do smoke, but I've never, like, besides the external condemnation of smoking, I've never felt like really bad for it. But also, I've never seen any true contract or anything. I think it's just complete bullshit. But these addictions that they're pressing on us, I think, are also inversion of the aeonic realm, because our consciousness is like in different states, like we are on drugs here. And also we breathed and everything like our nutrients. So it was like smoking. So I feel like it's just an illusion of what we're actually doing, that, like in the pleroma or something. And it's an illusion.
Dogs.
All right, guys. Well, I thought I was just going to be on here for a minute, but anybody else have anything to say?
I feel pretty
If
blocked.
you're interested in doing a few of these chats over the next few weeks or months, I'll try to make 1 or 2 a week for a couple hours, but no guarantee I can make it every day. But once or twice a week, I'll try to join. Depends on the time, wherever you're at. And I think that, Spain, I think they said, but I'm in Washington, so West Coast, U.S. But I'll try to make it, man. Sounds good.
Yeah.
What time is it by you now?
12:24
Okay.
in the afternoon. So
Okay.
yeah.
Me, it's 2:24.
Yeah. Okay. We could do that like midday. That's good. We could. I think we do something good. I really don't see anything on this internet now besides all these agents having their fucking, and I think Nonconformist now is going to do a video in the next few days. That's 4 hours. I hope it'll be a good one. And he's another one, in my opinion, that's real. And he's just, he's had enough. And he's had enough. He's got Derek, Mr. Lion Sword, aka fucking Green Wizard, Mr. fucking psychopathic sociopath who wants to do
I don't have any interest, though, in going after them, but I will definitely.
We should. That's how we shut them down, maybe, at this point. We're literally at the end now. We can
I'm doing my own shit, though. I don't have, like, any interest in that kind of stuff.
I don't know. I think there's maybe a few people who are still. I think there's still a few.
I would love to watch you guys do it.
Okay.
I would love it.
Infinite. I'll do it with you and Lee. We'll do it together, and I'll put some of my evidence up that they're all fucking shills and liars. And
there's only Tony Sayers that
Watch
seen
out
out of them.
because Mickle
He's an
has
agent, for
like
sure, but-
Mickle has evidence like from 2008 or some shit.
I got shit on all of them. I'm
know
not
you
even gonna
do.
go into all that stuff. I don't even care. It's just obvious at this point. The point is, it's getting so obvious now that Derek,
Yeah.
Anne Marie, fucking Tony Sayers, Howdy Mikowski, all these motherfuckers. It's so obvious. Adactic. He's autodidactic. Now he's so nice. He's got the long hair. He's so chilled.
I don't even know him.
Yeah, you don't know him. He's got fucking lot of people watching him every day. You know, autodidactic. They're all fucking agents. They're all archons. And like, I put up in the next talk, I will show you just how deceptive these agents can be. That would be the next interesting video we could do, because I really can show you guys just how deceptive they can be, where you'd be like, oh, I really feel a kinship with this person. I really like them. Oh, I trust them. Oh no, they're lying to me. Fuck.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if they. I don't know. I can't even have a channel where I would feel like responsible for putting up content constantly. You know what I mean? Like that is a chore, and I don't know.
Well, you just got to get real close to suicide. And, you know, I think for the next month of my life, I might actually do this. I might go live for the next like 10 hours every day.
You should.
I really might. And I'm just going to fucking drink and smoke. And I'm just going to fucking call all this shit out. And I'll see. I might have like 3 people who are going to fucking talk to me, you know, maybe. And they're like, no, I was watching Autodidactic and Tartaria. It's really important. I really feel a kinship with Atlantis. Okay.
I resonate.
I you know, but it's the only word we have.
All right. Well, I love all of you,
All right.
and I'll talk to you soon.
Good
And
stuff.
Take care, guys.
be out there.
Take care. All right, nice one.
Appreciate you,
Bye, guys.
See you later. Bye bye.